Hi. Wait, is this working? Yeah, it is working. Hello. Okay. Wait, music. Music. Loud. There we go. Okay. Hello. Hi. I apologize. I had so much scuff setting up this stream. I was really expecting like things to just not work. I don't know what was going on. Oh my gosh, so many things. Hi everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're all good. Who is here today? Who is here today? Let's see. Hello, Killer Mbappe for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you enjoyed doing research because you're going to be a participant now. I hope you're excited. And hello, Hunter Extreme. Hello, thank you for the follow. Hello. Welcome in. Okay, and let's see who's here. Seizuk and Ikatono and Duke Duckman and Shayon and Lankuri. Hello. And then who else is here? M0, hello. Congrats on the PhD. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm excited. I'm happy. No idiot talent rights music. Hello. Welcome in. Something stochastic, of course. Hello. And hello, Sine Wave Mood. What a great username. I appreciate that. That's funny. I like that. Switch advertising to me like I have money to spend. Don't even. Okay, so I tried to start the stream and then Twitch just randomly like kicked me off. Like it just decided, you know what? Today we want to reset your stream key. Like after I'd started the stream, it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes and then just bye and then hello, welcome back. So that was strange. And they had the audacity to run ads again after I restarted. So that, yeah, I feel you. Hello, Astro. Can't stay long. Have a nice stream, everyone. Thank you for dropping by, Astro. Thank you for dropping by. And hello, Runic Fiend. Hello, welcome in. Hello. Is this everybody? Wanna be Dev? Hello, welcome in. Congrats on the submission. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I have so many thoughts. I wrote some of them down even. That's how many thoughts I had. It's been a thing. But yeah, thank you, everybody. We be vibing. We do indeed be vibing. We do. But yeah, I've submitted it. It's away. It's gone. I don't need to think about it for a while. The PhD thesis is in the hands of other people now. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about this music. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. It's whatever. I feel like I want something a bit more fun, but it's fine. It'll do. But yeah, I've submitted it. It is away. It is gone. I do not have to think about it again for a while because I need to let my examiners like read the thing and then hope that they don't attack me. Yeah, no, I'm excited. And hi, Kiori, how you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're good. Do you have to do thesis defense? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a defense. It's kind of different from other countries though. The way it works is that how does it work? I'm thinking. So basically, there's like an internal examiner from within the department who isn't your supervisor, and then there's like an external one from another university who specializes in the work that you do, and then there is somebody from within the department who oversees the viva. And those are going to be the three people that are like my defense panel. Yeah, that. I think my advisor will be there too, actually. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, basically, I think I'm not 100%. We haven't worked out the details yet, but I think what will happen is that I give like a 15-minute presentation, like overview of the whole thesis, and then they rip me apart for like 2 hours. And I try not to cry. So yeah, but it's like closed doors. I know other countries do like kind of like almost like a public lecture type of thing. We don't do that. We have like a closed thing where you have to sit there and be privately told off for all of the things that you've done wrong. So that's gonna be fun. No Viva stream. You know what? That would be funny. I'm not gonna lie. I was strongly thinking like, is there a way that I could stream my Viva? Because if it was a public defense style defense, brilliant. You know what I mean? But like, if it's like a public lecture, that would be streamable in theory, because like I could set it up potentially so that I'm like streaming as I'm doing it. It would require a bit of like coordination with the university tech people, and there'd probably be like very opposed to doing it, but I could still do it. But yeah, because it's like a closed one, I don't think I can. What I might do though is like, I don't know, I'm contemplating like recording bits of it maybe, and then finding a way to edit it together in a way that's like kind of fun and VTuber friendly. I don't know. I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to work it out. Not too bad, all is well. I'm glad to hear it. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I feel like I've regained like at least 3 extra brain cells, you know? I feel like before I was like, I say I've got 3, but I think I was actually operating on 1, and I think I am now operating on all 3 again. Like I'm not gonna lie, the run up to the submission was pretty bad because like I'm silly. So I had lots of stuff that I still needed to do in the last 24 hours, and I may or may not have just not slept. Like I woke up at 6 a.m. on Thursday, and then I went to bed at like 10 p.m. on Friday, and I had like a 1-hour nap in that entire time, which is probably not sensible. But you know, it's fine. I got everything done, and I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna look at it, at least for like 2 weeks, I think. I'll look again in like 2 weeks time, and then I can start to go, oh no, that's all of the sleep deprivation related mistakes that I've made. I see. But it's fine because they're all just going to be in like the last 2 chapters, which, you know, by the time that they're reading through it, they're going to be getting tired on the last 2 chapters too. That was my thinking, so it's not the worst. And like I'd already read through and edited the discussion section once, so I feel like it was just like like with the discussion section, it was just going through and make it like the last chapter, it was just making tweaks. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Who knows? Who knows? At the University of Toronto, that actually takes place. You what, the public defense? Yeah, I think that's the thing actually at most universities. I think the UK and Ireland are actually kind of weird in the sense that we don't do it publicly. Like I know most places in Europe have a public defense because I've had a few friends that have got their PhDs in like the Netherlands or in Germany, and they've had to do like public lectures. Hi Zach, yeah, how you doing? Hope you're good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't have to think. I can actually just turn my brain off. That's kind of wild. I actually don't need to think. Do you know how happy this makes me? It makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. We finally gonna see Psydere? Yes, actually. Not yet though, because I still have to do the thesis defense, like the Viva, and then I'm probably gonna have edits because like everybody gets edits. I only know one person out of everybody that I know, and there's quite a lot of them now that have got PhDs. There's only one person I know who did not get asked to do any edits, and yeah, I'm not as smart. I'm not as smart as them. Germany is also public. Yeah, I know someone that did it in Germany and had to do the public defense. It seems, you know what, actually, I was going to say it seems terrifying, but I think I would actually prefer it because it's like, I think I can get up on a stage and just kind of like talk out loud. Like I don't really get particularly bad stage fright. Just because I've done so many conferences that it's like it doesn't really bother me, and also I'm quite good at just like dissociating and pretending that I'm like not looking at real people. That helps too. But yeah, the having like the small panel of like 3 or 4 people in a room all together, that feels like way more intimate, and to me that feels way more stressful. I would rather do the public defense. There's a science YouTuber that uploaded his thesis defense, which is the only reason I know it's a thing. Was it Simon? Was it Simon? That's the only one that I know of who's done something like that. The physics guy. There might be more though. There might be more. I feel like there's actually a surprisingly big number of like YouTubers that have got PhDs. It was Alpha Phoenix. Okay, that's interesting. There's 2 different people then. Alpha Phoenix. I've never heard of Alpha Phoenix. Who's Alpha Phoenix? Let's go find out. This is also physics. That's so funny. What is it with physics people and loud? What is it with physics people and uploading their thesis defense? Although actually saying that, actually I think, so I'm thinking of like Simon, what was his name? Simon, the guy that went to Oxford. I think his name was actually just Simon Oxford Physics or something like that. because he went to Oxford for his undergrad and he like vlogged the whole thing and then he vlogged all the way up to his PhD, which ironically was not at Oxford, despite his username. It was, if I remember correctly, it was at Exeter. But I know he vlogged his thesis defense. I don't know if he actually uploaded it. Either way, it's pretty funny, and I would do that too because that's very content filled. No, I probably wouldn't actually. Like I said, it feels too intimate. It feels too personal. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. Okay, I need to drink some tea. Give me a second. Explosions and fire also did his PhD, but wasn't able to upload the paper because of the stipulations for some of his funding. That's so interesting. I don't think I have any. I'm very lucky because I started. Well, not lucky. I guess kind of lucky. I started my PhD like right before like open access, immediate open access became a requirement for the funding. Basically, like in across the UK and Ireland, most of it is like you as soon as possible you have to make it open access now. But I started just before that, and then but I've also basically got like no restrictions on how I can share it. So like I want to share it open access anyway. That's the plan, is to just like make everything open. But also there's no rush. Like I can like update all the documentation and stuff and make it so that I'm happy with it before I do it, which is quite nice. That's quite nice. I feel very lucky. Yes. Good times, good times. I feel like I genuinely wait, I need to wait. Okay, there we go. I feel like genuinely, why is that not working? What am I doing? That's what I've done wrong. Okay. I see. I feel like I've forgotten how to like exist. It's so bad. I'm genuinely just so confused. I was like, what? I'm gonna yap. I have so many things to yap about. And then I sat down and pressed start streaming and I'm like, what was I thinking again? I don't remember. I thought I was gonna get more functional after I started, but I think I've actually got less after I finished, but I think I'm actually getting less functional, which is quite funny. Can't you just update your document after uploading? You know how you can do that for archive? So not with a thesis. With a thesis, you have to submit an actual like final one, if that makes sense. Like you have to be like, okay, this is the last one. That's it. I'm done. With the documentation, I can just keep updating stuff as much as I want to, which is good. Because documentation, I feel like you always think that you've covered everything and then someone asks a question and then you're like, oh, that's really important and obvious and I've totally forgotten that my bad. So yeah, I'm probably going to be going back and tweaking the documentation quite a lot, to be honest. I'm also just generally like quite forgetful, so I just completely zone out and forget, oh yeah, you kind of need to know what my variables do in my data set. That would help, wouldn't it? That would probably help. Oh no. Cause like I just forget, okay? I just forget. I'm like, I know what this does. Surely you know what this does too, right? I don't have to specify it, right? That's not how it works. You do actually have to write everything down. Oh my gosh. I feel so happy though, honestly. Like I feel like genuinely like someone has taken that book that was sat in my brain and just like removed it. And now I can actually like think about things again. Because in that run up, like that last 48 hours, I just wasn't functioning anymore. I was very, very anxious. I was all over the place. Like to the point where it was a little bit silly, to be honest. Like I was literally like standing up and just like staring into space, thinking about the thesis. I was just permanently thinking about the thesis. I was thinking while eating. It was so bad. And I couldn't sleep. I got so anxious. I was like actually vibrating. Like I was just like, ah, couldn't cope. Not good. That was like the worst anxiety that I've had in so long. I never used to really get like that before, like normal submission coursework, like during my undergrad and masters. But like, I don't know, this just felt different. And I can't say that I ever want to do that again, to be honest. I'm not a fan. Yeah. But it's over now, so that's good. That's good. That makes my life so much more nice. Nice. I think I'm still not entirely functional because I'm still not being very coherent in general, to be honest. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. Yeah. We will get there eventually, I swear. But for now, I will continue to exist in some way. I think actually, to be honest, towards the end, I think it was just like a state of burnout more than anything else. Like I remember there was like so many points where I would stand up and I'd go to like make a cup of tea and then I'd like I'd get the cup out and I'd put the water in the kettle and then I would just look at them because I couldn't remember how to do it. Like it happened so many times. It was really, really something. Yeah. Yeah. That's where I was. Hi, Bubster. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I can have thoughts again. I can have thoughts. My brain isn't a giant book anymore. Let's go. But thank you. How are you doing? I hope you're good. How are you doing? I honestly like yeah, I have no thoughts. I've forgotten everything. Hi UFCO, how are you doing? Congratiatis. Yes. Thank you. Question mark. Doing good. I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear it. And Shinsta, hi, how are you doing? Hi, welcome in. That reminds me. Oh, okay. So, everybody, I've been in thesis hell for literally like the last 2 weeks, basically. And the last week especially, I've not been very functional. I'm not gonna lie. I've not been very, very functional. So I've only just started going back through my like notifications from the last week or a week and a half, maybe. Only just doing that now. Which reminds me. Martzeltov, thank you. And hi, Defest Crunch, welcome in. How you doing? Same, I haven't been functional at all, honestly. That's a mood. Yeah, really, like, I'm not, I really just haven't been with it. Like, I have no words. It's been something. Genuinely, it's been like, it's like the worst possible state of burnout that I've ever experienced. Like I've had burnout a few times in my life, but yeah, this was just wacky. It was like, yeah, so I was literally like, I was forgetting how to like make food. I was forgetting how to make a cup of tea. I was forgetting how I was meant to wear my clothes. Like it was terrible. It was really bad. So 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. Only do a thesis if like it's genuinely helpful for your, like a PhD. Only do a PhD if it's genuinely helpful for your career, because I must say, I would not necessarily recommend it to people after the experience I've had. I do think it varies quite significantly, to be fair, from person to person and also by field. But for me personally, not necessarily convinced that that I would do that again, you know. What's the next step now? Waiting for comments so you can schedule your VOD. Or can you schedule your Vive already? Yeah, we've got the panel approved, so I'm ready to schedule my Viva. Which I think is gonna be, we're gonna be scheduling it at some point. Well, I assume it's probably gonna be in like a month or two. So we'd like to get it done before the end of April. That's the plan. But you know, plans change. But I'm fairly confident we should be able to, like, based on the availability that everyone gave. I think it's gonna be fine. So yeah, that's the plan, is get that done before the end of April, and then I'll probably get 3 months to turn around my changes. But if I get it done in a month and a half or 2 months, if I get it done in 2 months, then I can graduate in the summer. So that's my plan, is to basically speed run corrections. I'm gonna speed run my changes because I want to be done. I want to be actually just done and never have to look at that document again. Happens. Everyone deserves not to be functional from time to time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely my time. That was definitely my time. Like yeah. The thing is that I don't even remember most of the last week, actually. That's the worst part. The one thing that I do remember is that Husbando dragged me out of the house and forced me to like go out and do some stuff. I remember all of that completely fine. That's the only thing that I remember. Everything else, genuinely, I've spent an entire week just waking up, going to my PC, like waking up at 6 a.m., going to my PC after literally just making a cup of tea, starting to write, then going away to have some breakfast for literally like 15 minutes, and then coming back to the PC, and then writing until like 1 p.m., and then going or until 12 normally, actually, and then going and having some lunch for half an hour, and then coming back to the PC and doing more edits, and then at like 6 or 7 going to have some dinner that Husbando made, and then half an hour again, and then back to the PC. And then keeping going until about 10 p.m. and then going to bed and then waking up at 6 a.m. I had an entire week of that, basically. It was vicious. It was vicious. So yeah, intense is certainly a word. It's certainly a word. Hi, Boomer, and hi, Tayu. How are you both doing? I hope you're good. Happy it's almost over. Thank you. Thank you. It is almost over. Almost. I mean, to be fair, I think the worst bit is over, you know? The actual writing is entirely over. The writing's been over since Christmas. The editing, I had more feedback than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. It was quite a lot. But that's now mostly done. Really, it's just another, if I'm lucky, it will just be like a few weeks of editing. I'm really, really hoping it is. I have a feeling they might ask me to like, I think I'm gonna get the most feedback on my last chapter, and then I think they might also ask me to run a few additional analyses on the data that I've got. But if they ask me to do extra analyses, that's not necessarily a problem because I've done all of my code in R, so I can just like power that out pretty quickly. Like, honestly, like the worst part is not even writing the code. The worst part is then like copying and pasting it all into Word because I work with people that are scared of LaTeX. Oh no. Did you already publish or submit parts of your thesis as individual articles? No. Yeah, I've got a monograph, so it's been yeah, intense. I wish I had, to be honest, in some ways, but like I'm not staying in academia, so we like me and my advisor together would collectively just like it's probably not really worth the extra time it's gonna take. Because all of the psychology journals that I've been looking at seem to have like a really long turnaround at the minute. Or like, well, the turnaround time's starting to come down again now, but like, I don't know. I know people that have had things in review for like 6 months to a year. And we were both like, I've already been here for 4.5 years. Like let's just leave. Like, let's just finish this and do the publishing afterwards. It's not worth it. But yeah, that's the plan, is that I'm gonna basically like take the rest of the year to just slowly work through what I've got. I've already worked out like where one of the, like my whole monograph will probably split down into about 3 papers, and I've already worked out where the first one can go, so that's good. Yeah, that's the plan, is to try and transform it into something actually functional and publishable. But then if not, you know, the thesis is going to be open access anyway, so I can just, if I really need to, I can just kind of point people in the right direction if they want to see something that I've done. Yeah. Yeah. The fact you mentioned the fact you forgot during burnout kind of puts things into perspective. Yeah. It was really something. I was like, how do I, like, honestly, I think it's the cup of tea that like surprised me the most, because like, you know, I'm British, okay? I drink a lot of tea, and the fact that I couldn't remember what order the tea bag and the water and the milk going. That was very distressing. Or like, I try and make myself like something simple for dinner. Literally, no, my diet was terrible. My diet's been so bad for the last week. I've been subsisting on like 60% bread and butter. Like, I couldn't work out how to make something more complicated than that, or like noodles. And everything else that I ate was something that Husbando made for me. Oh no. Like genuinely, like the food that I made, that I was eating myself, right? There was exactly 3 meals going on repeat. Breakfast was like bread with butter on it. Lunch was instant noodles. And then dinner was like, I was really anxious. So by dinner, I wasn't hungry. So I just sat there and just ate some beans. Like literally just like, which ones were they? I always get the name wrong of these. But like they're, you know, baked beans, but big, basically. No, not baked beans, but big. Is it these ones? These ones, yeah. Wait. They have butter beans. Yeah. Butter beans, lima beans, I think I called in. I wanted to double check, but yeah. Butter bean or lima bean. I would literally just eating them like with some hot sauce. It was literally just a bowl of beans. It was really something. If I was feeling fancy, I'd kind of mash it with my fork a bit first. Honestly, like it was terrible. Well, it wasn't terrible. It's actually a pretty good meal, but you know, the fact that I was eating that on repeat multiple days in a row was pretty bad. Isn't it pronounced lima beans? I don't know. I don't know. We call them butter beans here. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know. We call them butter beans. But yeah, literally just like, I was getting literally just like half a can of butter beans with like some hot sauce on it. That was my entire dinner because I was not hungry. Couldn't do it. Oh no, more VTuber bean stories. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Butter beans, that must have been a rough time. It was, yeah, it's not even my #1 bean choice. That's the worst part. But like, I just needed something like bland and soft. That's why I was eating what I was eating. Like, I just couldn't cope with flavor or texture. So I just needed to eat very specific things. I was considering like, what is the funniest thing that I could put as an acknowledgement in my thesis, and like genuinely I was contemplating like, how can I put an acknowledgement to like the weird food things that have got me through. Like how do I give an acknowledgement to this one specific burrito company that I have been getting burritos from all the time? Or like, how do I give an acknowledgement to Greg's? How do I do it? Because like, honestly, I had to give acknowledgement for my funding, and I was like, yeah, thank you to insert funder here for giving me money for part of my PhD so that I could almost kind of pay my bills. It was below minimum wage. But the real sponsor is Greg's, to be honest, with the number of sausage rolls that I've eaten during the time of the thesis. Like, it really was. It really was. You're telling me a llama made those beans? Oh no! A llama? Or llama? Are they AI generated beans? Like, first the AI is coming for our jobs and now it's coming for our beans. This is terrible. No. That's the most British thing I've ever heard. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, find me a British person that doesn't love Greg's. I will wait. Genuinely, I will wait. I don't actually know anyone that doesn't love Greg's. It's not just a stereotype. It's real. It's real. Thank you for the hydrate. I actually just drank some tea. You probably saw the model do the thing. I will have some more. And thank you for the posture check. I am actually sat up straight. I promise. I promise. I know what I'm doing. I swear. I've regained control of my muscles. Oh no. Okay, so aside, be mindful. Oh, we've not had one of those in a while. Okay, let's see what we've got today. Lord knows I need to be mindful today. Goodness gracious. Right, what have we got? What have we got? This one? Okay, we've got... No, let me get into my nice my brain really just like inserted getting to my drilly meditation. Okay. Okay. The return of unknown P. Okay. Reflection. It's a reflection card today. So, what is the reflection that we're doing? Let's find out. It says, oh gosh, wait, this is not good lighting. Take 10 undistracted minutes to reflect on the following quote and how it applies to your life in this moment. Okay, here's the quote. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but in seeing with new eyes. Marcel Proust. That is a quote. So, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but in seeing with new eyes. That's an interesting quote. So, kind of like, it's, yeah, it's not about, like, necessarily going out and experiencing new things, but it's about allowing yourself to take a fresh perspective on what's already happening type of situation. That adds up. I can't say how much it's been applying to my life recently though, because I feel like my job is trying to see things in a new way consistently, if that makes sense. I don't know. I need to see new things in stuff already discovered. Yeah, exactly. Like piecing together. Ow, I meant to do that. Piecing together things that already exist into new stuff. Like adapting what's already there. That's literally just science. Like, although I guess we do. Yeah, no, that's just kind of science. I'm not gonna lie, because like I literally haven't left my house in a week. No, I actually have. I've touched quite a lot of grass because husbando dragged me out today as well. I was kicking and screaming. I was like, no, I want to stay in my chair. And husbando was like, no, we're leaving the house. And it was a good decision. Trust husband. Quality, quantity, explore, exploit, try new things versus trying new things but differently. Yeah. Yeah, because like if you're just like cycling through experiences, cycling through new stuff, but you don't really learn anything from it, is it really even a new experience? Like it is in a way, but like if you're not adapting how you see the world in response to it and you're not learning anything, then what's the point, you know? Could also be about taking a step back and reflecting on where you got so far. That's very true, actually. That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, this is why I think it's so important to occasionally like take some time to like reflect on what you've been doing, because it's really, really easy to just sit there and go like, oh, what have I done this week? I don't know. I've not done anything. But like in reality, you could have done a lot. You could have done quite a lot. Yeah. It's really, really easy to forget that because we have a tendency to like, we have like a bit of a negativity bias. Like we have a tendency to only remember the bad stuff. So a lot of the time, if you've had a week, you can probably look back on it and be like, oh, this interaction with a coworker was really awkward, or oh, I felt miserable and I didn't do anything. But then if you actually like take a step back from that mindset and write down everything that happened, you can normally highlight that you've actually done pretty good, you know? In Search of Lost Time has always been on my list, but considering I'm already struggling with War and Peace, I don't think I'll be ready to read it anytime soon. That's such a mood. That's that's such a mood. You know, my reading list is absolutely atrocious. It's atrocious. I've treated myself by letting myself go to the library and pick up a copy of a book that I've been wanting to read for ages. It is On the Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn. I've been meaning to read it for so long. I've read the introductory essay by someone else, but I haven't read the actual thing because I was like, I want to be able to actually focus on it, you know? So that was my treat for when I finish. Yeah. My reading list is a bunch of esoteric, partially unhinged stuff. That's kind of relatable, actually. You should see my reading list. Like, genuinely, it's quite funny. To the point where, like, I sometimes question it. Like, even my Zatera library, I've got some really strange papers in there. Actually, there is a paper that I want to go through today. I won't be able to like properly read it as is because of the copyright situation, but what I am allowed to do is bring up the snippet, so you can see what the paper looks like, and I can also put a link, and then I can read through it and summarize it. So that's what I'm planning to do at some point when I start being in the mood for it. Currently working on Blood Meridian, John. How'd you say that? Muir? I don't actually know how to say that surname. I see it all the time and I don't know how to say it. And a fan translation of Sacred and Terrible Air, very nice. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what any of those things are because I am not very cultured in general. I'm not very cultured in general. It's quite bad. Like all I know is like some anime and like I know Pokemon games extensively from generations 1 to 4. And then I know a few like Cartoon Network shows, and then that's like the extent of my knowledge about anything. And obviously everything that I did for my PhD, but that doesn't count because that's boring. Like I don't really it's quite bad actually. It's quite bad. But like my excuse is always that like I was working all the way through, like I've been working since I was 18. So I was working through part of our high school. And then like things before that, like I just wasn't really encouraged to do stuff. So I just spent most of my time just like existing as a child / teenager. And I kind of regret it. Like if I could go back, that's the thing that I would change. I would force myself to do things as a teenager at least, like read things and learn skills and stuff. I did one thing and it was like making websites. That was it. I didn't do anything. But now I'm an adult. I'm like, there's so many cool things that I want to do and I don't have enough time to do all of them. But maybe now I will have enough time to do them. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I can finally teach myself all of the things that I've always wanted to do. Hi, Hopsco21. Welcome in. Welcome in. Pro scientist. Yes. Slightly. Almost. Soon, TM, I will be a professional scientist. That's very exciting. And hi, Danktown Bunny, how are you doing? Congrats on finally submitting your thesis. Now you can do research papers for fun. Thank you. I know. Okay, unironically, I actually have so many ideas for stuff that I want to do. I'm really excited. One of them actually is something that I can do on stream. And how can I describe this without giving it away? It'd be like it wouldn't be quantitative. It would be qualitative, which is something that you don't see very much of, I think, in terms of like outreach, right? When I think about science communication, I don't know any science communication about like qualitative research, and I guess that's because people are like, oh, that's not really science, but it kind of is. It's just different. Yeah. So I have an idea. And I've spoken. I would need somebody's help for it, and I've spoken to them, and they were like, based on a very preliminary suggestion, they were like, I am on board with this. So that's exciting. So I have plans. I have so many things that I'm cooking. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. John Muir is an early environmentalist writer, written a lot of positivity. Wouldn't recommend either of the other books to anyone that doesn't already know what they are. They're very dark. Oh, I see. I see. That's always fun though. I like it when the writing touches on like interesting but complex things, you know? Yeah. I like that. But yeah, I'm like I haven't really read very much, which is quite bad. Like when I was younger, basically the only book series that I was encouraged to read were like Harry Potter and the Hunger Games, and that was it. Those are the only ones that I was encouraged to read, which wasn't. I don't know why, because like I had really good reading age when I was younger. Like I was like I had a reading age that was like, I basically got diagnosed as like hyperlexic. So my reading was like way better than everyone else's, but then I just never read because my family weren't, like, they kind of encouraged me to. I read a lot of like, mostly what I read when I was younger was basically just like horrible histories and horrible science and stuff like that. Like I just read mostly those and then like encyclopedias. I used to just sit there and just read encyclopedias. What does that say about me? But yeah, I have missed out on like a lot of like fiction and a lot of philosophy and stuff that would be interesting to read. I want to get back into it. I was also really annoyed because the last fiction book I read was really bad. Like it was, I was basically like on a boat. Don't question the context. I was on a boat. Remember, I live in Ireland, so I was on a boat going somewhere on a boat. And I was like, okay, I've got some time to kill on this boat, and I don't know what to do, and so I'm just gonna, yeah, read some random thing that I can get off the library, and it was really bad. Hi Eric, how are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the resub. Oh my gosh, you've been subbed for 15 months. That's wild. That's wild. That's, you know what? That's, I feel like it would have been quite funny if I'd have started streaming at the same time as I'd started my thesis, because then at least they would have roughly aligned. 15 months. Thank you so much, Eric. Boat, yes. Boat maxing. Boat build. Indeed. Indeed. I like boats. They're fun. But yeah, this book that I read was really bad. It was like at the top of the list of like library recommended stuff. And it was just terrible. It was like... I can't even remember a big chunk of the plot because it was just weird. But like, basically it was about this woman who was like... She was like a chemist in like the 1940s. Or a chemist or a physicist or something like that. But like... And then she like stopped being a scientist and had to become a stay-at-home mum or something because sexism. But then also she became like a TV cooking host, and then everybody loved her. But like the whole thing was really, really obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie. It was really bad. I didn't like it. I can't even remember the name of the book. So that goes to show, like, yeah, I didn't enjoy it. But like, I just needed something fairly short that I could power through on this boat. So I did. And I honestly was like, I feel like I could have done something more productive with my time. Cause like, it was just, oh, I don't know. It just, she was very, very clearly like meant to be autistic, but she was so Sheldon Cooper coded. It was actually painful. Like, she was just incredibly good at everything. And they would be like, oh, I like making bread. And she would like be, actually, what you actually need to do is bind the sodium bicarbonate to the lemon juice in order to neutralize the acidity. I was just like, oh my gosh, stop it. You're making us look bad. Please stop. You're upsetting me. No. It was painful. I've been recommended to read There Is No Anti-Memetics Division. What is that? What is that? What is that? The name sounds interesting. Looks like I have to wake up early to catch a Japanese anime announcement. What's the announcement? Is it anything good? There's been so much stuff that's making me excited recently. They announced that there's going to be a new season of a certain scientific railgun, and I can't lie to you. I literally like made a weird noise when they announced that. I was like, because I was so excited. I was so excited. What was the other thing that I saw recently? I saw something else that they're making a new season of, and I can't remember what it was. Actually, what was it? I don't remember. I think I might have tweeted about it. New soundboard sound, please no. Please no. Okay. That was it. That was it. The guy that she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. This is like one of my favorite mangas in ages, right? This is like the only manga that I've actually been making an attempt to keep up with because I enjoy it. And they've announced that it's getting an anime, so that made me really, really excited. And I think there was a third thing that I saw as well. I think it might have been Avatar: The Last Airbenders getting a new season. And I was like, wow, that's exciting. So yeah, some exciting times. New season of Free Run just came out today. What? That's already started? Wait, so, for real? I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Oh my gosh. Wait, let me go have a look at what's on the seasonal thingy. Netflix just dropped the trailer? What? I'm so out of it. I'm so out of the loop. I still haven't seen season 2 of Oshinoko even. That's how badly out of the loop I am. And people keep being like, oh, you've seen this and that, right? And I'm like, no. If it's come out in the last like 5 years, I probably just haven't seen it. And it's really sad because like right up to the end of my, right up to the end of my masters, I was like really, really on top of seasonal anime, and now I just haven't watched any of them. The only ones that I've watched are like season 1 of Frieren and season 1 of Oshinoko and something else. Yeah, and that's it. If it's not a meme, then I'm not aware of it, basically. It's very sad. I've tried graphic novels and manga and I struggle with it. You know what? I do too. I feel that. I do too. Because, like, I don't know. For me personally, I'm just more of a... how can I describe this? Like, I struggle to put, like, the text and the pictures together, if that makes sense. Like, for me, there's always a little bit of a disconnect between them. So I am very much I'm more of an anime enjoyer than a manga enjoyer. But, like, the guy she liked wasn't a guy at all. I enjoyed it so much that I have actually been reading it. So that, like, if you go onto I've got like a my anime list, right? And I think on it, I don't even know like how to find my account. I don't remember. Wait, I'm just gonna try. Well, oh, it's on my website. Wait, I remember. I know what I'm doing. I swear. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so like if you go onto my profile on my anime list, it's like it's like 34 days of anime and 2 days of manga. There's just like such a big discrepancy because like I'm just not mad on it. Like I don't know, just the format of it just isn't for me. Don't know why. I always wanted to get more into it, but yeah. I caught up with Apothecary Diaries recently. I want to watch that so badly. I want to watch that so much, but like, because like Ed, like psychologist Ed, he's been doing like a wait. There we go. I know how to do things. Look at me. He's been doing like a watch along with I think Apothecary Diaries was one of them, and I think the other one was 100 Girlfriends, but he might have I think he's just swapped onto different ones now. But I was like purposely like avoiding the bits of his stream where he was watching the Apothecary Diaries because I just want to watch it myself. But yeah, I'm like really, really far behind. Really far behind. They also announced they're finally working on another season of Bocce the Rock. Let's go! Bocce is also the other one that I did actually watch. But yeah, I've got so much to catch up with. Genuinely, like the only thing that I've watched properly, like as in tried to make an effort to watch it, is like, yeah, Bocce. I've watched in the last 5 years, pretty much just Bocce. I guess Attack on Titan finished in the last 5 years, right? I don't even remember. I watched that when it came out, all of the end bits of that. I watched first season of Oshinoko and the first season of Free Run, and then aside from that, like I've really just been terrible. I've been so bad. I think mostly I've just been going back and rewatching stuff that I've already watched because like my brain has just been I've just not been in the right place to enjoy it a lot of the time, which has been sad. But now I will be, so that's good. Not me watching Cardcaptor Sakura for the 17th time in my life. Pain. Actually, no, saying that, there's been a few things that have been like Irish cinemas have finally started showing like anime films regularly now, which is pretty cool. So I guess there's also been a few that we've seen in the cinema. So like Suzume and oh, what was that one? There was like a weird artsy film. I can't remember what it was. I feel bad now. I've forgotten what it was. But it was kind of funky. I want to watch the Gundam series just because it's the only one with a more realistic understanding of the ideologies of war, from what I heard. Yeah, I've heard good things about Gundam as well. But like, quite it varies within. So it varies between the different series, right? Like, apparently they have really, really different vibes. Like, apparently some of them are like full on like like radically anti-war, and then others are basically just like magical girl with robot. Like, it's kind of wild. I respect that though. I respect that. The Colors Within. Yeah, we watched The Colors Within recently, didn't we? That was really good. I really enjoyed that. That was very cute. But then I like everything that oh my gosh, I'm struggling. What was her name? Naoka? Naoka something? The K-On! Director. Her. Everything that she does is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I do just enjoy it in general. Hi, Wood Sticks. Thank you for the lab safety bridge to check in. How you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Yeah, so okay. What was it? I was gonna say also, I've got some announcements, which is pretty cool and pretty fun and cool. Yes. But there's gonna be an ad soon, so I'll wait till after the ad. I apologize. The Twitch are really just like hitting us with those ads today, aren't they? So painful. Congrats on submitting the thesis. Thank you. Hope you slept up well afterwards. I did actually. So I had like a 1 hour nap, but if you take out the hour nap, I was awake for like 36 hours consecutively and 30, yeah, 38 or something with just an hour of sleep. So it was pretty intense. But I did sleep for like a solid 8 hours. It was pretty good. But my brain's reset now mostly, so that's good. I still need to watch K-On! The music is awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The music is awesome. The music is so good. But you need to go into K-On! Understanding that there is no plot. Like, the plot is they exist. There is no plot. So don't expect that. That being said, it is still one of my favorite series ever because I think it is a really good demonstration of the way that you can literally just like become attached to characters by watching them go about their day-to-day life. Yeah. Because like, yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Also, the fact they go to London in the movie is very good. That's not a spoiler. It's literally on the front cover of the poster and the DVD. It's like it's yeah, it's yeah. That made me very happy. You know, it makes me really happy on the few things where like they go to like the UK and it's somewhere that I've been and I'm like, I know that place. There's like a cafe that they go to in the K-On! Movie and I really want to go there because apparently they just have like a small tiny K-On! Display and I want to go there so that I can take a picture and be like, look, it's the place. My ad blocker not working on Twitch is consistently the worst part of my day. That's relatable. That's relatable. It's exactly why I like slice of life. Yeah, right? And I feel like K-On's a really good example of it. Like, K-On is pretty much just pure slice of life. There is nothing else happening. Nothing else is happening except they are existing. But then to be fair, like my favorite anime ever is A Place Further Than the Universe. And that's also kind of just like cute girls existing, but there is a plot to it. So, you know, and the plot's pretty good. It's significantly better, I think. So if you've never watched that, definitely watch it. Very, very good. Any thoughts on all the social deduction in shows like Alice in Borderland, Big Brother, Survivor, The Genius, etc.? Yeah, that's pretty popular at the minute, isn't it? I think there's one at the minute also, which is like, I think it's called The Traitors. Where it's like, it's basically just Among Us. Like they just put Among Us on the TV. Yeah. I don't really have any thoughts on it, to be honest, because I've never really watched any of those programs. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like at some point I should go down a rabbit hole where I just like watch loads of like really, really cursed reality TV and then just like try and work out what's going on. Non Biori is my favorite because of how character focused it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never seen Non Biori. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's been on my list of things that I need to watch for so long though. But yeah, now I can actually start working through the things that I plan to watch. Also, like, I've just remembered, I was looking at my plan to watch list on my anime list, and some of it is stuff that I've just kind of bookmarked because I wanted to watch it, and some of it is like there's this one. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. There was this one. I had this really weird experience once, right? Basically, like, I found a random, like, anime shop. It wasn't just anime, but it was mostly anime. It was, like, games and stuff as well, but a big chunk of it was anime. So, like, they were selling, like, manga and, like, anime figures and stuff like that. And it was literally just, like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, it wasn't, like, hang on, let me Google this town. I was just like randomly there for some reason. I can't remember why. This is not a place anyone will have heard of. How many people live here? 41,000. So it was a random coastal town in the south of England with a population of 41,000. And I was just there for some reason. I think it might have been like, I've been dragged there by family for some reason. They had to do something in the vague area. And like I was just wandering around the town and I found this anime shop and like trading cards and games and stuff like that. And I went in and like they had a I don't know if you know the one that I mean, but like Evangelion did like a crossover with a coffee company, and like you would get this little box that had one of the characters from Evangelion holding the coffee, and then you would also get a can of the coffee with the Evangelion character on it. It was like, they had it in there, and I was like, why is this here? So I got it because I thought it was funny. And then some random guy who was like in his 40s, was just like sat there. He was just sat there and he was like, wait, a young'un like you buying Evangelion? And I was like, mate, like, it's a classic, of course. And then he was like, that's so fun. That's so cool. And then he just like started talking at me for the next half an hour. Genuinely, it was half an hour. He was just giving me this massive list of all of these anime that I should watch. And they were all like pretty old ones. Like when I say pretty old, I mean like they were like early 2000s and 90s and 80s. And one of the ones that he recommended me to watch was this one called Yakitate Japan, which is that apparently it just means freshly baked, right? And it is an anime about a guy who has like magical powers linked to bread. And he was like, this anime is so good. You should watch this anime about bread. It's so good. It came out in like 2004. You might have been an actual child then. I was like, a little bit, I guess. And he was like, okay, you should watch this bread anime. It's really good. And it's been on my to-do list ever since, is to watch the bread anime. It wasn't alive in 2004. Stop it. I was very much alive, unfortunately. I was alive and suffering in school. I did not enjoy school. Imagine being alive since 2004. Oh my gosh. You were too. Stop. I'm aging. I was already sentient in 2004. Like, I actually remember 2004. That's wild. I was like in school. I was like doing exams. Not like hardcore exams, but like exams nonetheless, you know? I might have already been running my Club Penguin website in 2004. No, I wasn't. I think Club Penguin came out after that, right? How old was Club Penguin? I think I was 7. I don't remember how old I was. I'm not gonna lie. Wait. Partially because I can't do maths. Wait. Okay, I was similar. Okay. Did you not like school so much that you got a PhD? Okay, they're very different, to be fair. They're very, very different. Okay, Club Penguin came out in 2005, so I apologize for the misinformation. I actually started my Club Penguin website in 2005. I was a year off. Club Penguin is apparently 20 years old. Oh my lord. Pain. But yeah, school and PhD are very different because I don't know. The further that I got in my education, the more tolerable I found it, basically. Because like the thing that I didn't like about school, as in like primary school and secondary school, was people. And like for the longer I went on in uni, the less people I had to talk to because the more of it I could do without interacting. So yeah. But also like people had weird expectations of you at school. Like I don't know. I think I also just had a really weird school experience because of the yeah, just the school that I went to. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna drink some tea. Oh my gosh, I can talk, I swear. Yeah. Wasn't a fan of school, especially not high school. Definitely not a fan of high school. But university's been fine. In fact, it's actively got better. It's okay. It's all over now. That's true, actually. It is all over now. It is all over. It's very exciting. No, I never have to be a student again. In fact, I don't know if I even actually can be a student again. Wait, can I? No, I could actually. I could. If I wanted to get like a higher doctorate, I could still be a student. I could still be a student. No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a second PhD. I'm absolutely not doing that. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. I'm not doing that. I've barely got through the first one. Go for a fellowship. That I actually might do. I don't even have to do like an interview to get a fellowship for my professional body, you know? I can actually just do that. Thank you for the follow, Howie Likes Pine. Welcome in. I hope you're ready to be a research participant because I've got some studies lined up now. Now that I've finished my PhD, I've got some studies. How old did you start university? I went to university when I was 19. Yes. Yes. Wait, was I 19? Yeah, I was 19. Yeah. Time to get an MD. Don't. Oh, I would not be able to cope with being a doctor, like a physician doctor. I don't know how people do that to themselves. That's too stressful. I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life. Oh no, can you imagine? I did actually want to go to medical school originally. So yeah. My original plan was to become like a medical doctor because in the UK you only you only need to do like a medical degree. You spec in when you're in secondary school basically. So you go straight into your medical degree at age 18 and you come out the other side at like 22. Because you have to stay there for a while and then you have to go on and do like, you know, training and stuff like in hospitals or whatever. And originally I wanted to do that, but then there was 2 reasons why I didn't. First of all, my careers advisor at my school was like, you have terrible bedside manner. Do not do that. That's a bad decision. And second of all, I got really bad grades in my chemistry exams, and that was kind of a requirement. So yeah, because I didn't care. Like it was really difficult because like everything else I studied, like you know, like physics and biology and, you know, psychology and stuff like that. Like I could make that interesting. I could relate it to whatever I cared about, right? But chemistry was just like memorize what an alkene is. And I'm like, I don't care. Like how am I meant to do that? So I did really badly. Yeah. And also I kept breaking things in the practicals. That didn't help. That didn't help. There's a reason why I don't do wet lab stuff. I didn't go to college. I went to military and then trade school. I mean, that's fair enough. I think, to be fair, I think probably that's probably the right decision for a lot of people. I wouldn't, I've done too much college. I've gone the other way and it's been an experience. Let's put it that way. I went for game development, but I haven't used that for anything yet, or even have a wanting to do so. Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think that's pretty common. Like a lot of systems, you kind of get pushed into like choosing your degree really, really early on. And I'm not sure that's the right thing to do, because what you want to do when you're 18 might be different to what you want to do when you're 25. Like it, you're still developing when you're a teenager. So it makes sense that people would like think that they want to do thing A when they're 18, and then, as they get into their 20s, they're like, actually, I don't. Also, like, I think the realities of various job markets aren't really properly conveyed to teenagers. Because like when I was thinking about, and also job conditions, that too. Because when I was looking at doing medicine, I was like, this is the work that I would do, and it would be really, really cool and fun. And like, don't get me wrong, I think the actual work that doctors do, obviously it's important, but it is also really cool and fun. But the work conditions surrounding that work, oh no, I could not cope with that. I could not cope with that, and I don't know how they do it. Like, they are more powerful than me, to be honest. Like long shifts and, having to do like back-to-back days and like loud environments and stuff like that. No, I couldn't do it. I can barely even cope in an office, and I thought I wanted to be a doctor. That's funny. Exactly. Now I'm trying to accomplish being an anime man on the internet. That's such a valid career goal. I think that, actually, I think that this is going to be a thing. Like, I think it's going to be increasingly recognized that like stuff like content creation is actually a valid career goal, Yeah. I like being a scientist. I don't think I can see myself like, I think I could probably do other stuff if I needed to, but I really like the job that I have now, and I don't want to stop doing it, And I don't think I'd ever want to entirely just like stop doing research, but to be fair, I started doing research when I was already like in my mid-20s. So I went into it fairly confident that like even if my PhD is terrible, I still want to do it. Yeah. Whereas like with undergrad, it's a lot more difficult to work that out. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I've got a job and I love my job. So I think I'm just going to focus on my job. And then obviously like, I'm doing VTubing, but like for me, this is just a hobby. I just do it for fun. And I like it when I can yap. That's the hobby bit. But then also I like doing the science communication. And I guess that's more kind of tied to my job. But then I also just do it for fun because I enjoy it, Like if I couldn't come and yap about papers that I find interesting, then I would be sad. Because I don't really find it as work, because like obviously like up until now a lot of the papers that I've been reading on stream have like been kind of related to my PhD in some way, but now I'm not restrained like that anymore, because like realistically I will still be reading a few papers around that, because I chose the PhD that I chose because it was something that I cared about to some extent. But like I can expand it a bit more now into other stuff too, which is exciting. If you love something, then keep doing it, but don't turn it into your job. I don't remember the saying, but it's something like that. Yeah, right? I think I would hate being a full-time VTuber. The things that I've heard like from other people, oh my gosh, that's... Oh no. No, thank you. Like, I get why so many people want to do it. I get the appeal of like being your own boss, especially. That I do really get. And I get the appeal of like, yeah, having full control over what you're doing and when you're doing it. And also the creativity, like being able to be creative, that's such a big thing. But like the instability it comes with, like for me personally, the biggest thing is stability. Like, do I know for a fact that I'm going to be paid a decent amount each month for what I'm doing? Like, is it adequate compensation? And then like B, Like the autonomy is also very important to me. So like I'd say like stability and autonomy are equally important to each other for me personally. And like like full-time VTubing is like massive autonomy but no stability. And that's terrifying to me. I think it's actually like no scary. Too scary for me. But yeah, if you turn something that you love into your job, then it kind of shifts from being an intrinsic motivation, like motivated by what you want to do, to being an extrinsic one, where it's motivated by like trying to earn enough money to survive. And yeah, that absolutely can ruin your motivation to do it. Obviously, it depends on why you're doing it, right? If you can keep doing it because you want to do it, and then like you happen to be able to make a living out of it, but like if you suddenly stopped being paid tomorrow, then you would be fine. Like that's a very different situation to like starting to do something because you love it and then feeling like you have to keep doing it because now it's earning you the way that you pay your rent. Like, yeah. I do carpentry and welding and have good enough knowledge from my uncles being electricians to know how to use electrical stuff in my projects. That's so cool. I know literally nothing about electronics, and it's something that I would love to learn more about because I'm like, this is like weirdly specific, but like, I think that like, I think that radios are cool. Okay, I think that radios are cool, and like one of me and Husbando's hobbies has occasionally been just sitting there and like DXing and seeing what we can hear. So I want to learn more about electronics so that I can learn more about radios, basically. Um, that's very cool. I wish want to learn more stuff so that I can actually like create things, you know, because like I'm confident creating things from an artistic perspective, but I'm not confident creating things from like an engineering and science perspective. Um, and I would love to learn that. The other thing that I want to learn is that like I used to play an instrument when I was younger, and then I stopped doing it because like I moved and I no longer had the instrument. I want to learn how to do that again as well. Like I have like a list of things that now I like have the mental capacity to do them. I probably will start doing them. Like one of them is attempting to learn a language again. One of them is attempting to relearn how to play this instrument. And then one of them is like actually reading stuff that I want to read and watching stuff that I want to watch and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Because like so much of it I can share on stream as well. That's the other thing. Like if I learn it's for example, if I try and relearn how to play this instrument, I can probably stream it. Like I can probably work out a way to like get it picked up. Because I would literally just be trying to like play along with songs. Like that's the way that I learned when I was younger, was like I didn't bother with learning like, you know, scales or anything. I don't know any music theory. I can barely even read a guitar tab, for example. But like yeah, I just would basically what I did was I just tried to teach myself the entirety of like it was a Blink album, of like a Blink 182 album. I just sat there and taught myself how to play the whole thing. And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, I can kind of do it now. I can kind of start to do other stuff, not just Blink 182. Which one was it? I always get the albums mixed up. It was Enema of the State. I sat there and I taught myself how to play every single song on Enema of the State. Oh no. They're so cool. Oh, radios are neat. I know, right? They're so cool. I want to learn more about them. My stepdad has a PhD in electrical engineering. That's so cool. That's such a good way to learn. Do you ever do like shared projects and stuff as well? Because I love learning from people by doing shared projects with them and just like observing and listening to what they're doing. I think that that's so fun. I think your brand of streaming is significantly strengthened by you doing it as a hobby. It lets you take your work life and incorporate parts into your content. I like that. Yeah, right? This is exactly what I want though. Like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine myself, like, I know a lot of people, how can I think about this? I know a lot of people start streaming because they are like, say with VTubers, for example, they're like, I want to be an anime girl on the internet. I want to get big. But then like, I don't know, they just like play video games. And like, that's fair. Like video games is good content. If you're good at, you know, being entertaining and fun. The way that I see it is that like, if you want to do stuff like gaming content or chatting content or whatever, like probably 80% of it is just like, are you entertaining? You know, are you just interesting to listen to? And if you have that, if you have good charisma, basically, you can probably just be a VTuber no matter what you're doing. Or just like a streamer in general. Like, I know quite a few people who like, or I know of a few people who are just entertaining. They're just funny. They like make things engaging. They're really good at bouncing off people. And they would probably just be good streamers no matter what they were streaming. But like, I don't think I have those things. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm particularly funny. I don't think I'm particularly like good at talking to people. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact I'm not good at talking to people. I literally have like a clinical psychologist letter saying I'm clinically not good at talking to people. But the one thing that I can do and I like doing is like just talking about stuff that I find interesting and doing stuff that I find interesting. And like, I just kind of see streaming as a way to just like share the things that I'm excited about with more people. Cause like if I care about it, then other people probably do too, you know? That's my thinking. But also like, I'm not gonna lie to you, apart from Husmod, I don't really have that many like, people in real life that I could share things with. Like most of the friends that I do have are they're not in Ireland. And the few that are like really, really busy all the time. So I don't know. It's just a fun way to talk about things and share things and do stuff, and it's fun and cool. Yeah. I like science. My sibling bought an old Walkman. They haven't used it, but I think just having an old one is cool, right? It's like the people that collect CRTs. Like, that's cool. That's cool. That's a cool hobby. We have a pretty old radio, I'm not gonna lie. Our radio is pretty old. If I remember correctly, electrical waves hit the antenna and then it goes through stuff to convert the waves into sound waves that could be heard, and then it goes through a mini speaker. Yeah, but like, is it the transformers that transform? I genuinely actually don't know. Also, hi Zully, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I was yapping. I was yapping. I was in my autistic monologuing zone. I apologize. Nothing new, so true. Thank you for the follow, Zully. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy being a research participant because you're going to have to do some research now. As a CE major, RF is a pain. I see. Oh, I'm sorry for bringing you pain. I'm sorry. I want to do it purely because I want to talk and bring other people to talk about themselves and other topics. See, that I think is a good motivation. Like building a network and a community. That's a cool motivation. That's very cool. But like, I don't know. I think a lot of people think that like, you know, having like a VTuber model or whatever is just instant like streaming success, and that's not how it works, you know? That's not how it works. Congrats on submitting your work. Thank you, Bob the Buildist. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's a big relief. I'm not gonna lie. It's a big relief. Are you Irish? That's a good question. I don't know. I that's not me memeing. I actually don't know. It depends on how you define it. Kind of. one of my yeah, maybe. No comment. Congrats on submitting. Thank you. How are you, Nicholas Flammer? I hope you're doing good. I'm Irish and German. Nice. That's a fun combination. I guess the answer is I'm English, technically, I guess. Go off the accent. That's a safe bet. That's what I would say. I always feel weird, though. Because, like, I think I've been in Ireland for so long now that, like, whenever I go back to England, I feel weird. I don't feel like I fit in anymore. But, yeah, I can't really say that I am Irish because I'm technically not, but I technically probably could be, but also paperwork is effort, you know? So that's what I mean when I say it's weird. So I just tell people I'm British because that kind of covers it, I think. You know, I don't have to specify English because English isn't even correct, to be honest, actually. But it is in terms of like if you're thinking where I grew up. How do you define identity? This Where's Tayu? How do you define the identity? How do you define what your like identity is in terms of like, is it where you grew up? Is it where you were born? Is it where your family are from? Is it the culture that has adopted you? Who knows? Who knows? I could be all of the above. Who knows? I'm purely Portuguese, sadly. I wish I was more. That you don't feel like if you're just like from one place that's not interesting, because that's still interesting, you know? That means that your family have stayed in one place, and that in itself is interesting, you know? I live in the American Northeast, up in what we call New England. Okay, I feel so bad because I know like nothing about American geography, actually. This is terrible. I know where Michigan is because it looks like a hand. That's all I know. And I know where Florida is because it's like the sticky out bit. And I know where California is probably because it's the bit at the side, right? That's it. Like it's funny because I know that there's like distinct cultural regions in the US, but like I can't tell them apart. Like they're all kind of just the same to me. And I know that's so bad because that's the same as when Americans are like, "Oh, Europe." And I'm like, there are very distinct different cultures. What are you doing? Don't just Europe us. But also, to be fair, Europe. If you do bloodline, it's tricky because then what am I? Native American, German, Irish, British? None of these give an accurate description of me, right? Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, obviously there's like the, you know, the legal side of like, what is your nationality? What passport do you have? In which case, British. But if it's like, how do I feel? Obviously I feel kind of British, but I also kind of feel Irish at this point because I've been here for so long, you know? I've been here for so long. I've definitely acculturated. And like, you know, I get told by people back home, like my accent has changed slightly, the way that I talk about things has changed slightly, you know. The stuff that I'm interested in and like the things that I do with my time, even that's changed slightly. But like, can I say that I'm Irish? Well, no, probably, because most Irish people would be like, you're not Irish, you're British. But then when I tell them how long I've been living here, they're like, oh, fair enough. You know, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Okay, I need to drink some tea. Europe. I agree. Europe. I do know that I have a lot of family across the world, mostly because of my grandfather. That's interesting. That's so fun. I also have a lot of family across the world, but that's because everybody just runs away from England. Nobody wants to stay there. I think am I the only one that's still in Europe? Yeah. I think I might be. I'm definitely the only person who is in like what's the term for like I've heard like Great Britain and Ireland together referred to as the British Isles, but it doesn't feel right because Ireland isn't British. Those two places. I think I'm the only one left in those two places. I think everyone else is like cleared off. But I think depending on how you define Europe, you could technically say I'm the last one left in Europe. It just depends. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really funny because with the EU, Europe is literally becoming more like America. The EU is very similar to what the founders of America originally envisioned, and it's decaying over time to be one state instead of a union of states. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's kind of interesting. Like the way that the EU's been developing. That's kind of politics though, and I don't really want to talk about that too much, but it's culturally, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like even if you I mean, I think even if you get people from like literally opposite ends of Europe all into one place, they're not that dissimilar really. Like, you know, there are obviously fairly big cultural differences in terms of like how people spend their time. And like, you know, different attitudes will vary quite significantly like between different countries, but I don't think that we're all super, super different. Like, I'm fairly confident that I could move to most EU countries and not have an issue. But obviously it does vary, like, yeah. Yeah. I'm so sorry. My voice has decided to have a problem suddenly. I need to drink more tea. I am struggling, goodness gracious. It's okay. Sometimes we do talk about like politically adjacent topics, but like I want to stay I don't want to get like I want to talk about it in an educational way if that makes sense. Cuz like a lot of stuff in psychology is like it gets politicized. So it's not necessarily inherently political, but people make it political if that makes sense. Like they use it to feed their own agendas and stuff like that. And like I'm not really interested in engaging like that. Like yeah, if it was like an educational thing of like this is what the EU is and how it works, that's fine. But then if it's like here is my opinion on the EU, then that's not so fine anymore. That I don't know, that's just how I like to do it, because like to be honest, the other thing is like my day job is so much politics. Like my job is basically like researching people's political opinions about science. So like when I'm on stream, I'm like, okay, this is my politics free zone now, you know, this is my safe zone. I don't want to have to think about that stuff here. It's partially to keep me sane, basically. In America, we're very different to people in New England area hate New Yorkers due to sports reasons, and we would literally tar and feather New Yorkers if we could. I kind of get that though. There's like parts of the UK that are also like in friendly / unfriendly rivalry. Like I know that there's a pretty big rivalry between I think it's Yorkshire and somewhere else in the area. I forget where. I know that Birmingham and Manchester have a big rivalry because both of them claim to be the second city. And Manchester obviously is, and Birmingham doesn't like that. So yeah, so they don't like each other because of that. Got you. I enjoy Greek political philosophy, but I don't enjoy politics. Exactly. Like, I'm happy to sit here and be like, what is the psychology of conspiracy theories? That's interesting. We can talk about that. Talking about, like, this is my opinion on conspiracy theories, you know? Not so keen. Or, like, this is examples of conspiracy theories in the media. Or, like, in the current news, that bit I'm not so keen on. Thank you for the follow, Joan on Twitch. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy being a research participant because you've just signed the contract. You've just signed your informed consent. Welcome in. Hi Bushy and hi Just Jane. Welcome in. Just finished practice. Hope everything's well with the festival tomorrow. It's both exciting and nervous. I had an idea and wanted to see if you're fine with me taking suggestions from others for which techniques I should demonstrate. Absolutely, go for it. You are welcome to ask. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in, Bob the Buildist. Thank you. We hate New Yorkers. We think they come from the underside of a moose. This is like, this is actually like, this is actually like Birmingham and Manchester both like just hating each other for literally no reason. It's quite funny. Like you're both cities. Like you're both cities in England. I'm sorry. Like there's nothing else to say there. Okay, so I've just realized I actually have some like announcements I need to make. Okay, right. I've got some announcements. I'll make a Google form and I'll throw it in the Discord. Go for it. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, husband gets extra sway. Let's go. As he should. Okay, I've got some announcements. Let me move over here. Let me do this. Is this going to be the right one? Yeah, there we go. That's right. Cool. So, I've got some announcements. First of all, one of them's a small one, kind of, but it's big to me. And the other one is a big one, kind of, and it's also probably going to be big to you. So, here is the first announcement that I want to make. This is the first one. I've been clipped for the first time ever. I'm showing this because this made me really, really happy. Shinsta, I don't know if you're still there. If you are, it's you. This is Shinsta's channel. Please go check out Shinsta's channel. Very, very good clipping. Very fun, actually. May have binge watched a bunch of them. Look, that's me. That's me. That's me and Mylin. Wait. There. You see? That's us. That made me so happy. You don't understand how happy that made me. I've been in my thesis hole. So I got the notification and didn't entirely process it. And then I saw it again, I think somewhere else, like on Discord or something. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait, huh? And then I kind of processed it. But then I haven't really been able to think about it beyond that. It made me really happy. Thank you, Shinsta. I remember him checking by the day before he released the video. Oh, honestly, I can't, I'm not gonna lie. It did make me really happy. I was like, wow, it's me. Of course it was the beans though. Look, beans is normal, okay? Beans are a normal and healthy dinner. You saw yourself and you hit the Metal Gear spotted sound. Genuinely, that was how it felt. Shaking my SMH. Can't believe you picked a side between Manchester and Birmingham. Such politics. Look, I'm just saying I've been to both. That being said, okay, actually, no. I've been to both. One of the times that I went to Birmingham, I saw a potato van, like a jacket potato van, and it was called the Tater Heads. And it just had loads of pictures of Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story on it everywhere. I was like, that's funny. But aside from that, there was nothing going for it. Their entire city centre is just a giant shopping centre. I'm not a fan. Whereas Manchester, there's some mildly interesting things. They have this one place that's it's weird. It's just a bunch of random alternative fashion and otaku stores. There's a maid cafe and it's all just wedged into one building and it's weird. I like that. But that being said, I do think it's not as fun as it used to be. It was better 10 years ago. That's my hipster opinion. I liked Manchester before it was cool. I did love hearing your take on the whole thing. Look, I'm sorry, but eating beans, valid. Genuinely valid, relatable, big thing, okay? Eating them in the bathroom, totally normal. It is genuinely the same as just keeping a granola bar. I think so anyway. I think this was a valid take, and I think that me and Mylin talked about it more afterwards, and we just went round in circles and just doubled down on it, you know? We were like, nah, this is fine. Trust us, we're psychologists, you know? We would never spread misinformation on the internet. We would never. I ate more than 10 pounds of beans last week. How much is that in grams? I actually want to know. Wait, I'll find out. Because I don't know pounds. 10 lbs 2 grams. Okay, never mind. I need to put it into kilograms. 4.5 kilos. 4.5 kilos of beans. I respect that. That's powerful. I don't even know how much our beans are. Wait. I'm gonna look up what is the size of a can of beans at Tesco. Like what is the weight? What beans do I normally get? I normally either get chickpeas or black beans. Those are my normal ones. Mixed bean salad and vinaigrette. I used to eat that also straight out of the can when I was at school. Actually, I can show it. Wait, I can show this. Okay. I'm gonna show this one. Hello? Oh, don't. Okay, never mind. They've decided to use WebP, so I can't act. Oh, wait, no, I can screenshot it. I'm silly. Yes. Yes. I got around your restrictions. Take that. Okay. These things. I swear, when I was at school, right? Because like I had there's a specific context around this. When I was at school, I used to eat these out of the can as my lunch, right? So maybe not this exact one. I think it might have been slightly different, but it was pretty much exactly this. I would just eat it straight out of the can. You wouldn't even need to drain it because it's like in a dressing, and you're meant to eat the dressing, and it's like meant to. Well, I think it's meant to be eaten cold. I actually don't know how they describe it. Is there any heating instructions? Oh, there is cooking instructions. Well, I didn't need the cooking instructions because I used to just eat it as is, right? And it's like a mixed bean salad, so it's a mixture of like what's in it? It's a mixture of green beans, red kidney beans, black-eyed beans, borlotti beans, and haricot beans. And then it's also got like a vinaigrette dressing. Oh, and chickpeas. And it's got like vinaigrette dressing and a bit of sweet corn and a bit of red pepper. And this was like my lunch every single day. I want to say for maybe like 4 months when I was at school, right? Because like I had to get I couldn't take a packed lunch for reasons, right? There's nowhere for me to prepare it at home. Long story, can't go into the details of that. But I couldn't get anything at school because I have a dairy allergy, I have a cow's milk allergy, so I couldn't eat anything, right? Because everything had milk in it. Like the only thing that they had that didn't have milk in it was like literally just plain pasta. And I ate plain pasta for like, I want to say like a week and a half. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore, man. Like I need something at least on the pasta. But then I was like, if I just go and get stuff that's shelf stable, I can just like eat it. So that was actually the story of how I started eating beans out the can, because I would literally just take this, like one of these cans, I would just take it. Because like it does the job, you know? But then people would look at me like, you are a gremlin. So that was why people would judge me, because I was eating it out the can because it was a bit weird. But then to be fair, another girl started eating like red bell peppers like they were an apple, and then suddenly all of the attention was diverted away from me. But yeah, I still went to I would go by myself and eat them. And one of the places that I would go was the bathroom. And then that was a tendency that just continued into when I worked in retail, because I didn't want to talk to people because they were scary. Everyone that I worked with was really scary. So that's the context. That is the lore behind the bean eating, you know? But then it like progressed into just eating just normal chickpeas straight out of the can, and like normal butter beans straight out of the can. So it was like a normal bean to weird bean pipeline for me. But I do normally put like hot sauce on them now, so that's good. That's an improvement, you know. That's where I am. That's the law. That's the law. Outrain, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I don't know anything about what happened there. You're gonna have to contact Twitch support. That sounds like a Twitch support problem. Psydere the bean eater, so true. You know what? I wear that with pride. I wear that with pride. They're good. I've been seeing a lot of beans recently. The subliminal messaging seems to be working. It's true. I'm sorry, this is actually just all part of a conspiracy. It's Big Bean trying to up their profits. I apologize. I'm in on this conspiracy too. And I'm meant to be researching them. Sad. What if the Big Bean conspiracy was actually just my entire research project the whole time? What if you're being bamboozled? What would you do? I got some cute news. My Kohai and I are planning our first meetup next week where I go upstate. She's already got a cute bakery set up and I already got the anime merch I'm giving her as a present. That sounds so fun. I love that. I love that. That is so cute. I hope you have fun. I hope you have fun. Bakery set. What do you mean by bakery set? Do you mean like cooking stuff? One of the presents that me and husbando got was like for our wedding. We didn't really get any wedding presents apart from this one thing. And it was like a personalized, like, what's the word? Like pie tin. It's very cute. Very cute. I'm gonna put beans in it. What would you do if I made a cheesecake made out of beans? Wait, I say that, but I have actually done that before. Yeah, I've done that before. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. Just another porn of big beans. So true. So true. Bean cake. No. I've been eating beans I've been I'm struggling. What's going on? I've been eating beans for 2 weeks straight. Not every meal though, but I used to never have them. Can't complain though. Genuinely, they're really good. We had beans tonight actually. We had beans tonight because I made burritos and they were pretty good. Okay, also, that being said, right, the whole thing about all Psydere can't cook. I made burritos tonight from scratch myself, thank you very much. And they were okay. Husbando gave them a 7 out of 10. So take that, I can cook. But they were indeed bean burritos. Not the bean cake. Okay, there's more context. There's more context. Let me tell you about the bean cake, okay? Ariwu, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. You are now one of the participants. I hope you're ready to take part in research because you just signed informed consent. So the bean cake, right? The bean cake. This is less unhinged than it sounds, okay? Tofu is beans. You can't deny this. Tofu is beans, okay? And I have made a cheesecake out of tofu because I can't eat actual cheesecake. So instead of cheese, I use tofu. That is a bean cake. This is not unhinged. This is real. Speaking of beans, I wonder what your opinion on natto is. I've never had it. I've never had it and I fully intend to. But if it's like slimy, I know that British people really, 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 really tend to hate it, but I might actually like it because I think I might like it, you know. I like fermented stuff in general. Sign me up, let's go. When Psydere talks about eating beans so earnestly, she reminds me of being a monk. I know, I just like them, you know? They're a good source of protein. If you combine them with some kind of grain, then they make a complete protein. They're relatively low calorie, they're high in fiber. Like, what more do you want from a food? If you combine them with the right stuff, it's a whole food, you know? It's good. They've also got high folate. Healthy. Slimy and stinky, exactly. Just like me. Maybe I should actually no, to be fair, if you eat natto, do you become an actual VTuber, slimy and stinky? Oh dear. I might actually like it, to be fair. Like, if it's with rice, because you don't just eat it on its own, do you? I know loads of people just like eat it out of the whatever, just like eat it there and then. That I don't think I would like. But then like, it's like when people just like have a spoon of Marmite and they're like, ugh, disgusting. It's like, well, that's how I eat Marmite, but that's not how most people are meant to eat Marmite, you know? So, yeah. I think I would like it if it was with rice. I tried it before. I thought I'm okay with it, but I was so wrong. Oh no. That doesn't give me promise. I should try it at some point. I just don't know where I can even get it. Like, I don't think that I've seen a single shop in the whole of Ireland. You know, you'd think that this would be something that they would have somewhere in Dublin, right? But I haven't actually seen it anywhere. So, yeah. I'll have a look again and see if I can find any, because that would be a fun, like, if I do a suffer-a-thon too, hint hint, That might be a good challenge to do, you know?
Hello, Psydere. Hello, chat.
Hi, Basil! Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, 15 months. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's been a while. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Thank you so much. So streaming is fine though. Is that the pickled herring? I think I've had something similar to that before. So, is that, did I say it right? Surströmming? I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. Lightly salted fermented Baltic Sea herring. I see. Yeah. I mean, I can't eat that anyway, so I'm safe. But what's similar? What's similar? Other fermented fish dishes. Other strong smelling foods. Okay. Okay. Why is kimchi on the list? Kimchi's not that bad. I think that there is something that's also like herring. It's like something weird with herring that I've had before. It's distinct from pickled herring though. Yeah, because it's like actually fermented. I see. I think I might have had pickled herring before. That might have been the one that I've had. Yeah, kippers. I've had kippers before when I was younger. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan of the not a fan of the herring. Not a fan. Oh no. Okay. I am doing. That's such a mood. That's such a mood, Basil. About to have a lurk. I have a D&D game. It's starting soon. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's fun. Thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you for the lurk. Before you go, there is an announcement that I started making and then forgot to actually finish. We got distracted by pickled herring. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. My throat. My throat. I haven't spoken in like 3 days and now I can't speak at all. My throat is not doing well. So the announcement. Here is the announcement. The announcement is, wait. Something's coming. Something's happening. Something's happening on the 15th of March. Time to be confirmed. Something's happening in 2 weeks. Let's go. I'm excited. Wait, maybe I'll put this behind me now. Wait. Hello, I'm real. Oh, I'm covering the date. That's not helpful. I'll go here. That. I'm excited. I would say I've been cooking, but I haven't been cooking. Someone else has been cooking. Someone else cooked very, very well. Based on a doodle that's been sat somewhere in my PC for like months and months. That's pretty soon. It is pretty soon. It is pretty soon. It's in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks time. A thing will be happening. A thing will be happening in 2 weeks. I'm excited. I'm excited. Not helping the Psydere can't cook allegations. True. Actually very true. Extremely true. I mean, I kind of cooked because I was like, okay, there's a story, but I'm not going to tell the story. But the story is that I kind of cooked, but then I passed the partially completed cooking over to a significantly better chef. That's the story, you know? That's the story. Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, I'll put it away now. I'll put it away now. There you go. Oh, I'm covering you up. Doo-doo-doo. I'm back to normal. Hello. Funny is, no comment. No comment. You killed Caesar? So true, actually. I'm sorry. It was me. It was me all along. I'm sorry. But yeah, in 2 weeks' time, subject to change, there may or may not be a thing happening that I'm very excited to show you all. So stick around. There may also be some teasers being posted occasionally on social media. So keep an eye out for those. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm not gonna say more than that for now. You'll have to keep an eye out. I'll try and share like another little thing every time, you know? Every time every time I stream, I'll try and give another little hint. But I think there was enough of a hint in that promo, to be fair. I think there was enough of a hint. I think you can work out what that is. Yeah, I'm excited. Yes. Okay, I need to drink some more tea. Hang on. Hi, Horrorliv. Welcome in. What's your PhD? It's in psychology. I don't want to share like the specifics, but vaguely my research is about like why people believe certain things about things. So like a kind of my research is like basically the psychology of science, I guess. So like why people believe things like conspiracy theories and misinformation and stuff like that, and why scientists act in certain ways, and why people do certain weird things in open source repositories, and how people would like things to change so that they can science better. Things like that. Yes. Exciting. Yes. I hope you know I've been furiously searching for a tea vendor to send you loose leaf tea. You know what? I've been also furiously searching, and I've found a few Ireland-based ones that might be okay. One of them is like really, really old. One of them is like fairly new, but seems reputable. So I might send you some links to what I found. If you're struggling with Ireland specifically, I think we can import from we can import from like Europe, mainland Europe if needed. So if you can find something like in France or Germany or whatever, that's fine too. But yeah, just like certain things can't be shipped from like the US over to Ireland sometimes. Psychology PhD is always harder to find monetary gain with it. To be fair, once you've got to PhD level, like you've built pretty solid skills that employers actually want. It's like I don't know anybody that finished their PhD and then couldn't find any job whatsoever. Like most people can find a job pretty fine, be it in like academia or in industry doing like behavior science research or something like that. I've got a job. I love my job. I've got a good job. I'm very happy. An actual research job as well. So yeah. But yeah, employment prospects can vary by degree. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've just got a good department. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know anybody. That being said, I do know somebody that gave up and became a farmer, and I also do know somebody that gave up and opened a coffee shop. So the memes are somewhat true, I guess. But both of those people were like, I just don't want to do this as a job, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. You know, after you've done it for like 5 years, you start to just be like, nah, I'm not about this anymore. And that's fair enough. Farming is great, right? I don't know if I could do it. It seems too tiring. Like, I'm not very good at doing physically demanding stuff, you know? But it does seem like it'd be quite fun. Like, well, maybe productive, that's the word. Like, you can see things happening. Any job where you can like see things happening as you're doing it, that's probably good, you know? Probably quite good. Yeah. I know a PhD student that became a mountain guide. That's fair. That's so fair. Like honestly, there are people that just like they do the PhD and then they're like, you know, research was not what I expected it to be. I don't want to do this. For me, I was like, research is what I expected it to be, and I do want to do this, but I don't want to do it in a university. You know? Yeah. People have different reactions. And then obviously some people are like, I just like this and I'm staying. Yeah. Yeah. I found a tea lounge by my uni that also sells a lot of vegan food. I thought you'd like it, but then I realized it would be terrifying if you found it because you would just hole up and camp there. That's so true, actually. I actually did that a little while back. I just like literally spent an entire day in one cafe while I was writing some work stuff. Because I just wanted to just get out of the house and have a change of scenery. And I stayed there all day and they had good food. And like, I didn't see a reason to leave. The only reason why I left in the end was because they closed. I would have stayed there longer if I could. I'm finishing undergrad aerospace right now and there's no jobs. Oh, oof. I'm sorry. The job market is like not doing great at the minute, is it? From what I could tell. It's not. It's been better. It's been better. Yeah. I hope you will be able to find something. I know that feeling because like when I finished my undergrad, it was like the same thing. Like well, my master's really, like I kind of went into a PhD because like I had like something I had something that I needed to achieve. And I was like, I can either do this by finding a job or getting a PhD. And like, I couldn't find a job, so I did a PhD. But also, I got offered the PhD with funding, so I was like, yeah, might as well. Might as well. That won't be too bad. That's like 3 years. 4.5 years later. Pain. It's fine, it's fine. I enjoyed the process, mostly. Again, your experience may vary. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna drink some more tea. My throat is like struggling today. I apologize. This is why you shouldn't just like sit in one place for 3 days in a row. Our PhD holders here are mostly unemployed because they're overqualified. That is a terrifying prospect. If I was in a situation where like I couldn't find a job because they were like, you've got a doctorate and therefore you shouldn't have a job, I would probably just like leave it off my CV. I would just list all of the other things that I've done instead because I've had a job the whole time. So I would just put those and be like, yeah, man, I was working. Yeah. That is terrifying though. I think, to be fair, I think like one of the best things that you can, like, I think that one of the mistakes people make is that they literally just do the PhD and like nothing else. But that's not really the way that things are anymore. You kind of need to have like side projects and work part-time jobs and stuff alongside it and get experience. Cause like, yeah, like at the end of the day, if you just like spend 3 years just like staring at papers and writing papers and collecting data, that in itself isn't necessarily what employers want to see. Yeah. That's what we had to do. Yeah, same, to be honest. My CV, like my CV is painful. My CV is painful. So like I almost have like because obviously I'm in research as a job, right? But like I'm now at the point where I've got too much stuff to go onto my CV, so I have to work out what to leave out for different things. Yeah. Had to leave out my masters. No, that's so painful. That's so painful. I hope it's at least useful though, because like normally a master's or a PhD, even if you leave it off your CV to get a job, like you'd still use the skills and stuff that you built from it. So I hope it's still useful. I don't mean to brag, but thank the heavens I'll be in law. There's always someone breaking some law and stealing someone's chickens. That's so true, actually. That's so true. Having too much on one CV is a pretty good problem to have, though. That's true. But it's also probably part of the reason why I've got burnout. Let's be honest. I've tried to do too many things. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, the last year of that PhD, I was doing a full-time PhD, and I was working part-time, and I was VTubing, and I was like, doing like an extra project at one point. And I was also TAing, so that was the second part-time job. Well, I guess the project also was a job. So I was working. So technically, I was doing the PhD and working 3 part-time jobs alongside it, and also VTubing. So that's how I ended up in a state of burnout. If, in case you were wondering, don't do that. Don't do that. Just have 1 part-time job. There's no need for 3. There's no need for 3. Oh yeah, and I also was doing a bunch of other research that was unrelated to any of it as well, actually. I mean, on the bright side, I'm getting a book chapter published, but Was it worth it? I'm not convinced. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Please maintain your ability to function. You know, work-life balance is genuinely important. don't follow my example from the last year. Follow my example going forward. Yes, that's what I will say. Yes. Oh no. I got lucky and had a lot of coding in my PhD, so the industry transition was not too bad. Yeah, it's kind of been the same for me. Like I haven't had like loads and loads and loads of coding, but at the beginning, I was meant to be doing a much more computationally focused project. So I learned loads of stuff, and then I didn't need it for my actual PhD, but it ended up being useful in my job. So yeah. Don't burn out. Got it. Yeah, exactly. Just don't burn out. What's that? You're feeling burnt out? Just don't. Trust me, I'm a psychologist. Oh no. I'll be teaching catechism. Catechism? What is that? To elementary students. The compensation is pretty decent, so it's fine. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie though, you couldn't pay me enough to teach elementary students. I don't like them. They stress me out. They give me anxiety. Everyone that I know who is a teacher is like secondary school is the worst, but I would actually rather take secondary school because if I was teaching secondary school, I could just put on my streamer brain and then I'd be like mildly entertaining in the class compared to like if I was teaching elementary school, like they just sit there and they're just like skibbity toilet and stuff and I'd be like, okay. And then they'd poo themselves and I'd be like, oh, that's what you meant. It would be very stressful. I don't know how it works. Thank you for the follow, Icy Disnats. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the informed consent. I hope you're ready to take part in some research. I don't know what we're researching yet, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. What do you mean? What do you mean maintain? I never had that in the first place. No. I swear it's possible. If I can do it, anyone can, you know? If I can do it, anyone can. You can attain the work-life balance. She says not yet having a work-life balance. I'm getting there though. I'm getting there, right? Ignore the fact that I spent like 37 hours awake or whatever the other day. Ignore that. The other day being literally yesterday. Ignore that. And thank you for the follow. Sixth Sensu, welcome in. Welcome in. As in Sixth Sense. Does this mean we could do parapsychology research on you? I think it could be. You would be an interesting test subject, yes. Don't worry, it's ethics approved. Oh, there was something else that I wanted to show actually. This is not an announcement. This is just something that I think is cool. Okay. Speaking of research. That was what my brain was like, speaking of research, here is something cool. But my mouth did not say it in that order. And then something that could have been a really cool segue fell on its face. So there was an attempt. This. Hello? Yes. This. Now, I don't think that I'm allowed to, I don't have the like permissions to reproduce. Oh, hello? Okay. I don't have the permissions to reproduce this. So I can't like go through it like I normally would. Also, it's in Japanese. That doesn't help. I don't actually speak Japanese. However, where's the paper? Wait. I've lost the paper link. Wait, I will find it. Give me 1 second. I'm prepared, I swear. Here it is. Okay. Cool. Copy link. There we go. Okay. Paper link. There we go. Like I said, it is in Japanese. So make of that what you will. It looks encrypted. It is indeed encrypted. I have decrypted it though with the magic of Google Translate and my basic A1 level Japanese. I will say it's definitely possible. One of my senseis is a research neurologist, a backup opera singer, a recreational sailor, and a 4th degree black belt swordsman. How he does it always beyond me. That's what I want to do. That's what I want. I want to go back. I used to be a bit like that when I was younger, where I was like good at school and I could also play an instrument and I could also like, I was like in a band for a little while. It was a bad one though. It was bad. And then I was also like being paid to do like web and graphic design. And then, yeah. And then I like ran a blog that was pretty successful and stuff. That was fun. That was fun. I want to go back to that because I feel like now I do one thing and that's not so fun anymore, you know? I want to go back to doing lots of things. It's more fun that way, I think. But yeah, we're going to be talking about this very quickly, this paper, because this is cool, okay? So this paper is titled Trumpet Dere. No, I never played trumpet. I used to play bass guitar. I used to play bass guitar. Not great. I wasn't great at it. And like the band was actually just us, me and a few other people just basically making fun of each other. But I did used to do it, you know? I used to be able to at least make an attempt. And I would like to learn it again, but I have to invest in actually buying one first. She's literally from K-On! So true. It was actually just a group of school-age girls that we used to turn up and be like, we're booking out this music room so that we can practice, and then we would never actually play the instruments. So actually, it's very true. Maybe that's why I like K-On! So much, actually. They're just like me, for real, for real. I remember, actually, we used to just go on really weird tangents. Like, there was this one time that we just wrote an entire, like, ironic Lady Gaga song and then recorded it. But then, like, it was entirely, like, we just entirely did it digitally. Like, we didn't even touch our instruments. So, yeah. So bass. But I want to learn to play it again. And I feel like it would be a fun thing to do on stream is to, like, try and pick back up, like, how to play it. Because, like, as much as I love doing science, okay? I love doing science, and I will never stop doing science content. But I don't, like, I want to do other fun stuff too, you know? We like work-life balance in this house. Hi, Sirix, how you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Okay. If only you knew. Okay, I will tell this story, but I'll keep it vague. There was this one time that I went to an anime convention, okay? Well, like, it was like it wasn't an anime convention specifically, it was like a general convention. I went to a convention, and I was literally just in my normal clothes. And this was like, I want to say that this was maybe like, it was like 2012 or something. Like, it wasn't that long after K-On! Came out. And I was there just in my normal clothes, and someone came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, you're cosplaying this character from K-On! No way. That's so fun. I love that. And I was like, yes? Question mark? Because I was too awkward to say, oh no, I'm actually not cosplaying. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm cosplaying, sure. And like, I actually liked K-On! So I was like, okay, we're just gonna roll with this. And then they were like, can I get a photo? And I was like, yes. I was too awkward to tell them that I wasn't actually cosplaying. So like, somewhere out there is like a picture that someone's taken thinking that I was cosplaying a K-On! Character. And I actually wasn't. I was just wearing my normal clothes. Oh, it was so painful. It was so painful. I was so awkward. And all of, like, I was with a small little group of friends and they were like, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what just happened. I'm scared. Real life anime girl, for real. Oh no, I live in fear that it might happen again one day, but it hasn't yet, so that's good. But admittedly, I haven't really gone to many cons though since then, so yeah. High fashion, so true. I was literally just wearing something normal. That's the worst part. I don't know what they were thinking. Destined to be a VTuber. It started with the K-On! It's K-On!'s fault. It's K-On!'s fault. You're an anime girl online in IRL. Apparently. I didn't think I was. Oh no. How'd you get in the Discord? Discord's currently down for maintenance. We're going to do some slight changes to it. And then we'll make it accessible again. But for now, please hold. It will be available soon. Hi, Need Food. Welcome in. Twitch told me to check you out. So what's happening? Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. John Twitch. Thank you. Yes. Welcome in. Yeah, no, I was going to talk about this paper, but it's in Japanese. So I've got a copy in English, but I'm not allowed to like reproduce it without the author's permission. But the author, I'm pretty sure, only speaks Japanese, and I was too awkward to ask them. So what I'm doing is that I've just got this little snippet up here because this is fine. And then I'm going to read through it in English, but I'm not going to read it out. I'm going to talk about what they're saying in a way that's like paraphrasing, and then that's fine. I've already read this paper, so this is fine. I'm doing my best to stay within the terms of service of the journal, and I think this is fine. Yeah. But also this paper is literally written by a VTuber. So in all honesty, if I asked to read it on stream, they would probably say yes. But like I said, I think they only speak Japanese, so I was scared. But I tweeted about it and I blue skied about it. So yeah, if you want the link, aside from the fact that it's also pinned, I also did that. So yeah, and I can also link to the actual creator saying that. I should do that too. Where are they? But like I said, Japanese. So you might not know what's going on their Twitter feed. I certainly don't. But they seem nice. They seem nice. Yes. Hi, Sango. How are you doing? Congrats on submitting your PhD. Thank you. It's done. It's gone. It's in the hands of my admin person now, which is exciting and scary and good and nice, and I'm scared. Thank you so much. And thank you, Catherine. Thank you as well. How are you both doing? I hope you're both good. The title's not clickbait. No, the title is not clickbait. I did actually genuinely submit my PhD yesterday. I did like a monograph thesis and I submitted it yesterday, and it is now with the admin person, and they're going to put it through the plagiarism software and check that I didn't steal anything. And then it gets sent off and I have my exam. So that's scary. That's scary. In the end, I think I might have a copy of the document. It's really slow to load though. Hang on. Give me a second. I can check what the final word count was. Yes, I literally just called it the big document because I wasn't sure what else to call it. I was like, what do you even call this? So it's still loading. It's still loading. Okay, there we go. The final count on it was, including the references. I put it in the references and stuff. So this includes the reference list, which is not included in the official word count. The official word count is excluding the references. And I think that was about 75,000 words. Oh, it's actually, okay, never mind. It's crashed my browser. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. So including the references, in the end, it was 344 pages. And it was 9,952 words. And it was the characters, including spaces, it was 669,925. That's a lot of characters. That's a lot of bits of data. Goodness gracious. And then if you would like one final fun fact, first of all, there were 10 figures apparently, and there were 19 tables, and I did manage to get a meme in there. I said before I would not be happy unless there was a meme in my thesis, and I managed to get a meme in there, so I'm very happy. So one of my figures is actually just a meme. The file is probably named thesis_final_final_version 38. You know what? It actually isn't. It is genuinely just called the big document. But obviously I renamed it before I sent it off. I was like, name, etc. So yeah, it is actually just called the big document. But I made a terrible mistake. I did it on Google Docs. Do not do this. If anyone out there is ever contemplating doing a master's or PhD thesis, do not do it in Google Docs. And especially do not do it in Google Docs with Zotero integration. It was taking half an hour to update my citations. Do not do that. It is not worth it. Do not do it. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. It was so painful. It was so painful. I think excluding YouTube comments and Twitch chat, I wrote about 9,000 words in 12 years of school. Yeah, probably. The worst part is, right? The worst part is that I actually enjoy writing, and it's also a big part of my job. So I'm sat here like 75,000 words in one document, but to be honest, across every document that I'm going to do in the next year, I'm probably going to do double that again. So, because I have to do so much like research and writing up and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Is it loss? It is not loss, actually. It is not. That would have been a good one, though. That would have been a good one. Casual even reading. Can you imagine? Finally, PhD levels dig butt. Can you imagine? That would be amazing. Life goals, I'm so happy for you. Thank you, thank you. Did you probably credit the creator of the meme, though? It was me, so I didn't need to. I made my own meme. I put in the meme. It's the last one as well. I'm so happy. And I don't know if it's like the kind of thing that people would even realize is a meme, because I put it in the context of like, this is an example of a thing. But like, I put it in because it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I got to the end and I was like, I'm losing my mind. I just need a reason to keep going, bro. And that was the reason. Oh no. I have some flowcharts in there as well, and I'm quite proud of them. They look quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. They do look pretty good. They do look pretty good. Yeah. Didn't credit the right anonymous poster, rejected for plagiarism. Can you imagine? That would be funny. I enjoy writing as well, but writing 9,000 words on a single subject, couldn't even do that on my biggest hobby. I can't help it. Like, I just do it as a job, you know? I failed as a husband not teaching her tech before it started. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Husmod was telling me the whole time you should be using LaTeX. And I was like, I have a reason for not using LaTeX, which is that it scares one of the people that I'm working with. And I tried to float the idea before, and they were like, no. And I was like, I can just give you the PDF and you can just comment on the PDF. And they were like, I don't know how to comment on a PDF. So that was the reason why I didn't. So I was like, Husmod, this is an excellent idea, but I can't do it. And then, yeah, I regretted my decisions. I should have listened to Husmod. I would never listen. I should have listened, but I didn't, and I regret my decisions. Begging you to write my papers for me. Actually, low-key, I would. I actually really enjoy writing them. Like, the bit that I don't like is like doing the data collection. I like writing research proposals and writing grant proposals and then writing up the research that's been conducted. I don't hate doing the research itself. It's quite fun, depending on the research, but like I do really genuinely just enjoy writing the stuff up. So like writing up this thesis was kind of like half good and half terrible, you know, if that makes sense. It was kind of half good and half terrible. I once got a demerit on a presentation because I forgot to credit the meme properly. What? That's kind of ridiculous. Because like most of the time you can't even attribute it to a certain source, because like you can source somebody and then they're not even the original poster. That's ridiculous. Hi Shoebum! I just saw you were streaming and congrats. Thank you. Thank you. I am so close to being just permanently Dr. Dairy. I'm so excited. Can you use the flowchart to direct our parents to how to solve a basic computer problem? Well, given the person that I'm working with was scared of commenting on a PDF, no. I wish I could. Scared is not the right word. Scared is not the right word, to be fair. It was just like, I was just like, please, could you do this? And they were like, no, it's not my preference. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And then we agreed to like meet in the middle on Google Docs, but then they didn't use it anyway. I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll just make it work. But by that point, I'd already written most of the thesis in Google Docs and it would have taken me longer to port it over to LaTeX, I think. So yeah. I use it all the time and I would never suggest to a loved one to use LaTeX. Look, okay, no, to be fair, I actually quite like it. I do quite like it. And especially doing like citations, it's so satisfying. But also it is kind of painful, I'm not gonna lie. I like if you're just like you need it to just like work, I'd always say like Word or OpenOffice or LibreOffice or whatever with Zatera integration, that's the way to go. But like if you want to do it properly and like, you know, minimize the amount of maintenance that you need to do on the document, LaTeX pretty good. Gotta go to sleep. Congrats again and have a good stream. Thank you, Wannabe Dev. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good sleep. Thank you so much for joining us. LaTeX phobia. It's so true, actually. Most scientists. Oh my god, my research of half. This is why. This is a collaboration brewing. This is a collaboration brewing. Have you tried Typist? I have not. I have not. Is it good? What is it? Tell me about it. It's a little easier, more Markdownish. Okay, I'd like that. I like Markdown. Like, if I'm writing something for myself, I do it in Markdown. I have like a... I keep my life organization in a GitHub repo. So like I have GitHub repos for like the main things that I do. I have a Psydere GitHub repo. And that's where I like keep track of what streams I've like edited clips down out of and stuff. What does it say about me? I even have templates set up for like okay, I've done a new stream, so here is the VOD template. I need to back it up onto a hard drive, and then and then I need to go through and watch it again, and I need to make sure that any edits aren't needed, and then I need to remove the music from it, and then I need to upload it to YouTube. And it's if it works, it works, you know. If it works, it works. I haven't done research in like 3 months. Too many talks and too much writing. That's such a mood. I haven't done any research in ages either. I'm like I'm in a really weird position because like all of the stuff that I did during my PhD, including like non-PhD work, is like all in the writing up phase. Yeah. It's all in the writing up phase. Or like there's one thing that I need to do that's analysis phase. But everything else is writing up phase, and I'm kind of like, what do I like? I need to do so much writing, but because I've had the PhD, I haven't had the brain capacity to, to do it. People use Git for not software. Wild. So it's not Git. It's like the issues management mostly on GitHub that I use. So like whenever I have a new whenever I do a stream, I have like a Git like a issue template set up. That's I can find it actually. I'm not logged in. Wait, I've got it on my phone. I've got the GitHub app on my phone so that I can do my issues on the go. Okay, let's see. I wish I could share this, but I obviously can't because it's like, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I have an issue template that's like, for when I do a stream, it's like edit VOD, review VOD, edit VOD, upload VOD, back up onto hard drive, YouTube chapters, edit clips, upload clips. And then if it's like a stream that I think I could make into an actual YouTube video, then I have extra things on there for the YouTube video. Yeah. GitHub issues as a personal note-taking is pretty out there. See, if I'm taking notes, I do that in the actual repo. Like, I have markdown files for stuff. Yeah. But, like, I have, like, all of my Psydere assets backed up. Because, like, why not? You know? Top-tier management, thank you. Proud, thank you. It works, you know? Like, because I'm doing it anyway for work. So, like, if I'm using that system for work and I've worked out a way to be productive with it, why not just keep using it? I think it's fun. I think it's neat, you know? Coding, boring, lame. Using Git and GitHub for managing your life, based. uh, Surely a normal task and note-taking app would suffice, though I don't blame you for your workflow. Yeah, but like, here's the thing is that I need to be able to access it across multiple devices, and normally you have to pay for that. And on top of that, I like to keep my projects kind of separated. So like me and Husmod have got like a shared repo for our like joint life stuff. And then I've got like a separate repo for my PhD stuff. And then I've got a separate repo for Psydere. And I've got a separate repo for like work stuff, as in like my actual job, which is obviously shared with the rest of the team. So yeah, I put things like even stuff like conferences goes on there. Like if I have to do a conference submission, I will sit there and I will like make a whole GitHub issue for it. Just because it's also a good way to communicate with other people what you're doing, to be honest. If you're in a shared repo, like it's a good way of communicating. Yeah. Said like a true product manager, how dare you? There's still a career for me in tech. It could still happen, assuming the layoffs stop. I'm really not sure what you're suggesting. Oh, okay. Imagine using Kanban to manage your life. Couldn't be me. I mean, I do have a Kanban board also. I have a GitHub project set up so that there's Kanban. Did you try Notion? No, I've never tried Notion actually. I've never tried Notion. I've tried Obsidian, and I do actually use Obsidian to like manage the stuff that's in the notes in the GitHub repo. And then I've also tried I used Trello, but like not out of choice, you know. I wouldn't use that for my personal stuff. I'm not a fan. I prefer the GitHub features actually because they're like simpler and they're less stressful. And then what else? What else have I tried? I tried Monday, didn't like it. I've also tried just using like a spreadsheet before. That actually went better, but the people that I was working with didn't like it, so I gave up. And then I realized I actually prefer doing it on GitHub anyway, so yeah. Because I kind of like things being kind of containerized in the way the issues are, if that makes sense. And now you can do sub issues as well. So like if I've got like a big thing that I need to do, then I can make sub issues for each thing and then close them off as I go along, which is pretty good. Yeah. My school gave a course on how to manage PhD life with Agile. That's so cool. I wish we'd done that. I don't think that my graduate school even know what Agile is. Make a Docker file for LaTeX templates and post it on Docker Hub. That would be fun. Okay, I'm actually very, very quickly, I'm going to speed run through this paper because I do actually want to talk about it because I think it's very cool. Okay, so this paper, my own personal board that isn't shared with anyone is actually just post-its. That's fair. That's what I did before. I also used to have a bullet journal. I had that for a long time, but then I discovered GitHub and thought it was more convenient than carrying a book around. Okay, here's this paper very, very quickly, right? What this paper is about is it's a VTuber. So basically, Kakapo, oh gosh, I always struggle with the surname. Kakapo Kitashirakawa, I hope I've said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Is a VTuber who does science communication. They are obviously they're a Japanese speaking VTuber. But they've like worked with a bunch of Japanese agencies. So I think they've worked with MEXT, if you know what that is, like the science and what is it, the Ministry for Culture and Science, something like that. They've worked with JAXA, which is the space agency, if I remember correctly. And I think they've worked with a few others too, I think. That's what I remember anyway. I might be wrong. I am like basing this off a very vague understanding of what's happening because I do not speak Japanese. But they published this paper, which is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Hi, Doc Rex, how you doing? They published this paper, which is really, really cool. It's just like a short little kind of summary of their experiences. So this is like a journal that's not peer reviewed, but it is still a journal. It's like hosted on JStage, which is like a preprint and journal server. So basically what they're saying is they're summarizing their experiences of the pros and cons of using VTubing to do science communication. So their background is that they majored in a science, and then they did that both in undergrad and in graduate school. Eventually they got a PhD. Like Archive, yeah, exactly, but Japanese. Thank you for the follow, Scottish lad, the two. Welcome in. And also Toast. Sorry, I did see you, Toast. I don't think I said hi. Thank you both for the follows. Welcome into the participant pool. I hope you enjoy being researched, because that's what you've just signed up for. You've just signed the informed consent form. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I actually do make the rules. Well, technically the ethics board makes the rules, but you know, science. Oh no. But yeah, it's basically a career talk, kind of. I think it's kind of summarizing like what the what their experiences are, to try and encourage other people to start doing it too. So they did these science degrees at university, ended up getting a doctorate in some kind of science subject. But they said that they really enjoyed doing science communication and teaching. But an issue that they had was that mostly science communication was at events. And most of the people that attended those events were people that were really, really engaged with science anyway. You know, they might have been scientists themselves, or they might have been family members of scientists, or just people that were just really enthusiastic. So it wasn't reaching the broad enough audience that they wanted to reach. So based on that, they became a VTuber, because they thought VTubing has a lot of entertainment value. Loads of people come in and watch VTubers. So why not combine the two things? Why not use VTubing for outreach? And they did. They started it in August 2020, and yeah, they've been going ever since. So they mostly do live streams on YouTube, but also, you know, they do a bit of other stuff like appearing at events and, you know, doing collaborative videos and stuff like that. They said that there's two main advantages to doing science communication as a VTuber. First of all, is they think that having a familiar character makes it more accessible, basically. So they basically are saying that, like, you can make the character look approachable and accessible and cute. And that in itself brings people into the streams, and therefore brings people into science. On top of that, like, you can make science communication illustrations using the character. So that in itself is like a kind of unique thing that Psycon VTubing has going for it. And then obviously, like, the use of anime aesthetics is quite familiar for a lot of people, so that can also bring people into. What else? And they said the second thing that's a massive advantage of VTubing is that you can combine education with entertainment. So they've specifically said about, like, you know, chatting streams, singing, game commentary, playing games, and then talking about the science behind it. So basically a lot of what we do. So I felt very seen by this paper, you know. I was like, this is so cool that somebody has actually, like, managed to get a paper published talking about this, because that, like, science VTubing, or like educational VTubing, it is expanding. It is expanding, and, like, there are more and more people starting to do it. There are more people starting to feel comfortable talking about their professional lives on stream and showing bits of it and stuff like that. Really, really cool. I love that this is happening, and I love that it's growing. Obviously, you know, this person, Kakapo, like, they've been going for a long time. They've been going for 5 years now, almost. Okay, so this, like, they're like one of the OG, like, if not the OG science VTuber. So I'm glad that it was them that managed to get published. But yeah, it made me so happy seeing this, because now I can cite something, you know. Now I can cite something and be like, look, this is a practitioner that thinks that these things are the benefits of it. So it made me so happy. It made me so happy. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like there's a bit of validation now. Yeah, some examples that they've provided are like Q&A sessions. Yeah, stuff like that. Q&A, viewer participation, space photography experience. So like a citizen science space project, and then introducing recommended planetariums and talking through the planetariums. So yeah, I think they focus more on like science, like space projects. So yeah, but it's super, super cool. Also, hi, Pippi. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you so much. The research assistant contract has been extended. I could actually be a PI soon. So the thing could stop being a meme. It could stop being a meme. And then they said that the two biggest limitations that they felt were, first of all, there's a lot of Psycom related events happening in physical locations. But if you're a VTuber, the accessibility to that is kind of limited at the minute. Obviously, the tech for that is improving massively, but you need to be able to actually rent it out, which is expensive. So if you're not with an agency, often it just doesn't happen. And then the second thing that they said about is that the translated thing that I'm seeing is it is difficult to secure social credibility. So basically, it's the difficulty of I think this might be more of a cultural thing because obviously Japan has more of the stronger idol culture, right? Where VTubers just don't talk about anything. I think this might be less of a problem in the English speaking VTuber community because I just talk about stuff. I talk about what my research is and I talk about my experience being a grad student and stuff like that. But that's it's more limited if you're having a more kind of idol focused approach, right? But yeah, they're saying it's difficult to convey what your actual credentials are. It's difficult to talk about your actual research, stuff like that. And then also how that feeds back. How can you gain credibility in the scientific community if you can't tell them what your credentials are? And likewise, as a VTuber, how do you gain the trust of the audience if you can't tell them what your credentials are? And if you want to expand in your network of scientists that you have in real life, but you can't tell them you're a VTuber, how do you navigate that? So yeah, I think that's probably more of a problem in Japanese for Japanese speaking VTubers than it is for us, though. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my TLDR of what this paper is. I just thought it was really cool. I thought it was so cool. It made me so happy that that was published. I feel so validated. I feel seen. I feel validated in a good way. Also, hi-fi, how are you doing? Congrats on being done. Psydere Blanco, yes! Full power! I need to make that. I need to make the V-Roy Psydere Blanco. Unfortunately, I do not have a V-Roy Psydere Blanco yet, but I will try my best to make that. Oh no. Something that strikes me as useful with streaming for science communication is that it's interactive and it has the time to get into depth into topics. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, the interactivity part of it is my favorite part. I think that if I was just originally I just wanted to make videos and videos are cool and they're cool to just put them out. But to me, it feels kind of what's the word? I'm quite sensitive to power imbalances, right? Not in the sense of if they're okay, how can I phrase this? Autism brain. If there is somebody who has power over me in a real life situation, I am oblivious to it. I don't realize, and I will just talk to them. And the same as if they're below me in the social hierarchy, I'm oblivious. I don't realize. So I will just sit there and I will talk to a world-renowned professor as though they're another grad student, and I just won't think of it, right? But online, I'm quite sensitive to it. I'm quite aware of it online. I think it might just be because I've done more of my socializing online in real life. I don't know what that says about me. But when I was thinking about what I wanted to do in terms of psychom, it felt to me like making a video. I think videos are amazing and they absolutely have their place. But for me, I didn't want that to be the focus of what I did, because it feels like sometimes if they're done in a certain way, it's just I am informing you of a thing. I am the one with the knowledge and I am giving it to you. And I've obviously seen that in teaching and stuff as well. And that's not necessarily the approach that I wanted. Because for me, learning is a thing that you're always doing. And it's a thing that you do together. I've learned just as much from everyone in chat as you have probably all learned from me. In fact, I've probably learned more from you all than you have from me. So yeah, streaming's giving me that, and I don't think I would have had that otherwise, If I'd have just focused on videos, I don't think that would have been a thing. Yeah. And honestly, it's been the main thing that's made it really enjoyable to me, to be honest. Yeah. Also, thank you for the follow, Saf. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was like autistic monologuing. I apologize. I did see you. Thank you so much for the follow. Congrats on submitting the PhD. Thank you so much, Pippi. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. It's so done. I'm so done, but also it's so done. But also not entirely. I have a defense still. But you know, it's submitted. It's gone. It's not my problem for a few weeks until I hear what time and date my Viva is. Yeah. Imagine having a VTuber as a PI. I feel like that would be quite fun, potentially. Who knows? Who knows? That could be me soon, though. That could be me. Real letter to the editor someday. Hello, could you please change my name in this paper from 2019 to Psydere? It would be the other way around. I've not actually published as like a first author or anything yet, but like I have been considering trying to do some stuff under Psydere. It would at least be pre-printing. That's the thing. Like, I kind of am considering it. Time to throw it all away and become a full-time anime girl. I like being a scientist, though. I like being a scientist. I like my job. I like my job. Why not both? Why not both? Did you finish the PhD or did the PhD finish you? So true, actually. So true. Painfully true, actually. Based on how functional I've been, definitely it finished me. Hi, Rayo, welcome in. How are you doing? How are you doing? Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're good. We love your autism unskippable cutscenes. I'm never going to stop thinking of them like that now. I'm never going to stop thinking about them as unskippable cutscenes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. They are just permanent feature. Real Psyduckies, grad students. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Imagine if I said to them, like, don't acknowledge me as my real name. Do not perceive me as my real name. You must put Psydere in your acknowledgements. Actually, also, like, okay, I feel like it's good to have like a massive like vision for what would be the best thing ever that is never gonna happen, right? That I feel like that's a good thing to have. Like to have a unrealistic, unachievable goal that motivates you, okay? My unrealistic, unachievable goal that motivates me is like streaming going well enough that there's like sponsorships and stuff that I could redirect into funding science projects. And then they have to put out a paper with Psydere as the funding acknowledgement. That would be so funny. That would be so funny. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Imagine having a VTuber as your funding acknowledgement. Oh no. Another huge milestone down. So excited for you. Thank you. It is a massive milestone. I'm not going to lie. And like the remaining milestones should come pretty close together now because it's like defense, corrections, submission, and then done. Like graduation. Graduation, like good ending graduation. This is a good ending VTuber graduation. So that's exciting. That's exciting. I remember that theoretical physicist Brian Vecht once published under a silly affiliation. That's actually such a mood. I know someone that published under a Facebook group, to be fair. Like their affiliation was a Facebook group. And it was allowed. It's kind of wild. It's always good to love what you do in science. Exactly. In general also, in general. I feel very lucky in that regard. This is just my flesh sonar. Oh no. Can you imagine? I might start referring to it as that. My flesh sonar. I remember there was a chemistry streamer that used to do that. That's amazing. I love that. I love that so much. That's like the life goal. You would have to write it into the conflict of interest section. Yeah, but it's not my research, so that's not a problem. You know, I'd be funding other people's. Acknowledgement. This work was supported by Psydere under grant number 1. Exactly. 1 of 1. Oh, that would be funny. Puts, I have 1 million followers on Twitch on your grant applications. Okay, low-key though, actually. Low-key, if you've got good like science communication, like that's starting to add extra points for grants and stuff now. So like if you actually do science communication actively and you can show a following with it, like unironically, some grants will actually give you bonus points. Because like they want the research to be heard about, right? And like especially certain grants, so like for example, like the European Union grants, like yeah, like anything that's funded by the European Union, if you have good science communication and like you have a plan for science communication, they rank you higher. So that's my little hint. Become a VTuber and it will help your science, I swear. When we want the VTuber to graduate. Exactly. Good ending. Good graduation ending. We're already using GitHub repo and personal blogs as references. This is true. This is very true. I hope it's going to become a bit more normalized to do stuff like that in general because like, yeah, it's cool. Like the context that I saw it was like a what's the word? Like a participatory research project. And this was someone that's like, I think they were like involved in the project as a participatory researcher. So like they were like, I think it was like, oh, I can't remember the specifics. I think it was some kind of like disability studies research. And it was a participatory project where people who identified with this thing were involved as researchers. And I'm trying to be vague actually, because now I've remembered what it is and I don't want to dox the person. So yeah, so like they were, for example, living with a condition. So let's say, for example, they were living with a health condition, and then they were involved in this research as somebody who has lived with that condition as a way to inform the researchers of like what's, you know, what their experience is and to make sure that the research wasn't straying into unethical boundaries. Yeah. And immunocompromised? No, it actually wasn't. But I'm not going to tell you what it was. Don't try and get it out of me. But yeah. And they were like part of like some kind of group it was like an activist group, but it was primarily centered around some kind of social media site. I'm not sure if it was actually a Facebook group now I say it. It might not have been. It might have been like a Twitter circle or something. But it was something like that. And they put their affiliation as this like activist group, even though it was literally just like a Facebook group or something. And it got accepted. It was published. So yeah, I think we're going to start seeing more. And I think we're also going to start seeing more pseudonyms in publishing as well. Because like there's more and more reasons to do it. Like if you're doing any kind of research that can get politicized, for example, like you need to keep yourself safe because I know people that have like actually been threatened because of the research they're doing. So yeah, I think it will become more common. Thank you for the hydrate, Catherine. Thank you. I will drink some water. I'm planning on streaming math someday. You should do it. Do it. The best time to start is as soon as you are physically capable, to be honest. That's my opinion. The whole thing about like for example with VTubers, the whole thing about you need to have a big debut. If you're an indie VTuber and you're just starting, I don't think you should. I think you should just start. That's what I did and it worked out for me, you know? I just started. I forgot to do my debut presentation until like 3 streams in because I didn't know I was meant to. Because I like didn't even really watch VTubers that much. I just thought it was a cool medium and then I started doing it and then I actually started, you know, being a fan of VTubers as I started meeting people and being like, what the heck? Their content is cool. Insert just do it meme. So true. So true. I mean, it's actually unironically true. Like you should just do it. You should just do it. Okay. What's the plan? What's the plan? Okay. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. What we're gonna do today. What we're gonna do today. I can see that my good friend, Nepenthes, Vermont, is streaming currently. Is doing a collab with Entomolomoth, who is also a wonderful person and a friend. It looks like they're watching some kind of video. Okay, cool. So I think we should go and say hello to Nep and Ento, because I'm not gonna lie. Hello. I forgot that I forgot my own command. There we go. There we go. We got there eventually. Because, yeah, we've done everything that I wanted to do today. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to exist. I wanted to remember how to function. I wanted to talk about my experience of finishing the PhD edits. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the paper. And we've done all of it. And it's getting quite late. And I kind of want to just hang out now. Like, I kind of want to just hang out with Hosmod. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of sleepy. I'm kind of sleepy. So I think it's probably time to wrap up now. Yeah. probably time to wrap up. I need to get one of those things that's like an overlay that says that we're finishing soon, because like I've had times before where I was like, let's finish now, and then suddenly someone raids in and I'm like, oh, sad. Now I have to keep going out of not obligation, but because like I appreciate it, you know. I do genuinely appreciate it a lot when people raid in, so yeah. You need to rest. That's so true, actually. I do need to get some rest, actually. It's been some days. It's been some days. Outro. Yeah, exactly. I need like an outro. Because at the minute my ending screen is just like the art. I should get like some kind of outro. That'd be fun. Need to save up for that though. Need to save up. It's great to have you back from the grind. Well done, and thanks for the stream. Thank you, Woodsticks. It's good to be back from the grind. Now the VTuber grind starts. Now I become full-time VTuber alongside full-time job. That's the plan. No. That would be too much. But I will be around, hopefully a bit more, and hopefully I'll actually be making more interesting and especially more science content again, because like my brain is actually functioning. Now the real burnout starts. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. No more burnout. We're done with the burnout. But yeah, we are gonna go and raid into Nep and Ento. When I work out how to do it. I've forgotten how to do it. Oh gosh. The thing. Who should we raid into? I guess we should, you know what? I think Ento has less followers, so I think we should go raid into Ento. Because they've got shared chat on anyway, so it'll be both of them. But yeah, let's go. Let's go. Oh wait, actually, are they finishing up? They might be finishing up, actually. Let me check. I'm checking what's happening. I'm checking what's happening. Oh no. This is the bit that I always struggle with. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not good at this. I can't work out what's going on. I need to work out how to teach Hosmod how to do the raiding for me, because I can't. There's too many people. I can't find Ento. So I'm panicking, so we're just gonna go to Nep. Okay, I'm sorry. It's shared chat, so it's both of them, right? It's both of them. It's both of them. It's both of them. Okay, we're gonna go and say hello to Nepenthes from V Theorem, and also Entomolomoth, who is not from V Theorem but is friends with us. Both of them are very, very good, excellent educational VTubers. They both do science content. Nep does plants and bugs, and Moth does bugs. Yes. That's a reminder of the raid message. There we go. Yes. So yes, please enjoy their stream. Looks like they're identifying Pokemon, which is extremely cool and fun. I love that. But yeah, that's all I got. Sorry, my brain stopped functioning. I can only focus on one thing at a time, and apparently the raid was what I was focusing on. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know when the next stream will be. I'm still doing guerrilla streaming. Even now, I'll still be doing it. So I don't know when the next stream will be. It will be when I feel like it, you know? Whenever I feel like it. So if you don't follow already, please do, and keep an eye on notifications or follow me on social media, whatever your preference is. And yeah, I will see you next time, I guess. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Thank you so much for being so kind and supportive. It's meant so much to me over the last few, the entire time, to be fair, but especially the last few days. And yeah, have fun. Have fun. Be nice to Nep and Ento. Bye.